Okay, welcome you guys. Hey Jay, we got Jay on and Bree will be coming in to be the second co-host cuz Keish is out of town and Trish unfortunately is under the weather. So hopefully she'll be feeling good soon. There she go. Hey Bree.
Hey guys, happy Friday. Please hit the like
Yep. So okay, so we got Bree and we got Jay Money tonight, along with myself, and oh my God, we got some stuff to talk about.
button. Yeah, we do. Hi, J Money.
Hey, Bree.
Oh Lord, I thought about that when I was like, if I bring those two up, boy, Jay, you gonna be trying to shoot your shot.
I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good.
Okay.
Now, look, you know what type of show you signed up for having us on the show.
I know. I know. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. It's a couple of minutes after the hour, and so everybody is strolling in. Welcome, you guys, to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where it's going to be J Money, Bree, and myself. T will be recapping both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful for the week of October 16th through October 20th. We do the Young and the Restless in the first half of the show, and then we take a little bit of a housekeeping break, making sure folks hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And then we do this in the second half of the show, the Bold and the Beautiful, and then we have two little snippets at the end. Who's taking a seat? If somebody got on your nerves, need to go sit down somewhere. And flipping the script, if there was a different scene, if you wanted to make a different scene or a different storyline from something that you saw this week, that's where we flip the script. Hey y'all, I see all of y'all in the chat, and like Cheryl says, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you, Cheryl, and also thank you to Bree and Jay. As I was saying a few minutes ago, Keisha is out of town and Trish is under the weather, so hopefully she feels better soon. I talked to her earlier. She's tired. She's getting some rest. So hopefully by next week she'll be a lot better and she'll be back with us on the live. All right, you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do the summary, and then we'll break down the storylines one by one. And I know we got a lot to say. I know I got a lot to say about Bold, but yeah. Okay, so hold on one second. For the Young and the Restless for this week, we had Sally telling Adam she can't let go of him, and Victor tricks Nick into thinking he's losing it. Phyllis threatened to expose Tucker's link to Mamie, and Audra asked Kyle to join her alliance with Tucker to go get Jabot. After eavesdropping on Jack, Kyle reconsiders Audra's offer, and Mamie suggests Jill's days are numbered. And then we had Nikki worrying about Victor's cruelty and threatens Adam wait a minute. Nikki worried about Victor's cruelty and she also threatens Adam while Victor tears into Nick and Victoria when they worry about his health. Tucker rages when Ashley refuses to reunite with him and Mamie Tucker's alliance is revealed and Nikki's against Victor's cruelty. All right, so which storyline do y'all want to start with first? We can start with a smaller one and then break down the bigger ones later. Where you want to start? Either Bree or Jay.
I'll let Jay go.
I'd say start with like the smaller storylines and lead up to the bigger ones.
Okay, so you have a smaller one in mind that you're thinking of right now?
Well, at least for this week, I think the smaller one is probably the Kyle and Audra, potential alliance stuff.
Okay, well go ahead. What was your thoughts on that?
I'm pretty surprised with Kyle, I know he's mad about Billy and he wants Billy's job, but I can't believe he would seriously consider, making an alliance with Tucker and Audra to take his father's company. I was thinking he would just go right to them and tell them what the plan was. So I was actually really surprised that he's even like considering it seriously. What did you guys feel about that?
Well, first of all, Keisha is in the chat saying, hi. Hey, Keish.
Hey, Keish.
Is she in Orlando?
Oh, that's right, because she was supposed to be coming down to Florida. Hey, Keisha, are you in Florida? She'll probably drop it in the chat. My thought on what you just said, I totally agree. Kyle is being a brat. It's not like he's being kicked out of the company. They don't want him there. They're trying their best to find him a position in the C-suite. Up until Jack had the conversation with Tracy talking about he needed to start from the bottom. I don't know where that came from, though. Because for the last few weeks, they was like, well, we could find you an executive level position. And he said, no, I wanted this co-CEO or nothing at all, right? Now, all of a sudden, Jack want him to start from the bottom. So I thought that was weird. But I still think Kyle is being a brat.
He's being Jack. Because Jack and Ashley and even Billy have acted the same way when it came to Jabot. And he's really doing nothing any different. And to be honest, I would feel a way if I had a co-CEO position and then to just be demoted each place I go to. That would kind of eat at me too. However, the method that this man is taking, this girl came to you, she followed you, and then all of a sudden she says some sweet nothings, and then you're back in her bed in that same hotel room again. And then she gets you right back there in the bed again and tells you, I'm teaming up with Tucker. I am out for myself, but why don't you come and join us? And I can give you a position next to me as we take over Jabot. And his first instinct is to be like, this might not be such a bad idea.
Well, at first, Bree, he was kind of taken back because remember he said, so this is what this was all about?
He was in that bed, so he was taking all of that in. He knows the right reaction is to respond. But much like what Audra said, you could have left at any point. You could have left as soon as I said I was teaming up with Tucker.
That is true.
He stayed there. So he took that in, and that's disappointing. That he's stooping this low. And what's funny is he won't go back to Summer. He thinks Summer is so bad simply because that she's Phyllis's daughter and that she had trapped him into marriage, that he had no problem going into and sleeping with her. But okay. But he's seeing Audra for who she is, seeing exactly for who she is. She is dropped him, picked him up, dropped him, and told him the entire sheen. And she feels so confident because he's that simple-minded. I'm like, are you and Liam brothers?
Wait a minute, are you talking about Summer or Audra?
Audra.
Audra, okay.
My apologies. But it makes no sense, but at the same time, he is Jack's son. This is exactly out of Jack's playbook, right here. There's plenty of women that Jack has done this for.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
Two things. When you said, Bree, when you said that he, taking the demotion from CEO or co-CEO, but see, that's not exactly how it went down, because when he had originally gave up the co-CEO position, he had got a promotion when he worked with Summer at I forget the Marchetti, right?
Marchetti.
So, yeah, so he left the co-CEO and had a higher position working right next with Summer. And then he comes back after that, all went to hell because of the whole breakup and all that stuff. He wants to come back and just automatically take the co-CEO position back. That's very entitled, privileged, brat behavior. For what it's worth, Billy is John Abbott's son too. So for him to think that Jack should just push him aside and give him his co-CEO position back, I just don't understand how he can be so arrogant. Like, Billy has a position in the family as well. He has just as much of a right to be in that company as Kyle does. So that's just very arrogant of Kyle to think that everything Billy has should just be given to him. And the second thing, T, you brought up, you don't know why Jack all of a sudden wants him to work from the bottom up. Do you think the situation with Adam probably motivated Jack to have that kind of like that because he sees what Adam's doing?
Hey, listen, and I thought about that too. I'm like, dang, that sounds something like what, Adam is doing and what they're trying to do over at Newman. It was just out of the blue though. Because at first they were working so hard, especially Diane was working so hard at either trying to get him in the CEO spot or get him a C-suite position. And then the conversation shifted where Jack was like, I think he should start from the bottom. And then, of course, Kyle overheard that and he texted Audra. My thing would, and I think somebody said it in the comment section, what would be really good if Kyle actually turn the tables on them, because Kyle now knows that Tucker is coming after Jabot. He's the only one outside of those two people that knows what's up. Even with Chancellor Winter's situation, which we'll talk about that because Tucker has a hand in that too. The thing is that Kyle could blow this thing sky high. He don't realize the power he has right now. You know what I'm saying? Because if he could blow Tucker and Audra out of the water. And even Audra said, because he was like, well, how do you know I won't go and run and tell my dad? And she was like, you probably can, but you're still here. And I think that's what's the comment you guys were making. My thing is, Kyle got the big information. He could blow up that relationship with Devon and Tucker. Hey, listen, I was approached by Audra and your pops. They want to recruit me to take down Jabot. Devon would be done with him. But Kyle is just so caught up into wanting to be the co-CEO so bad, he's not even thinking with the right head. If that was with Adam or if that was even Victor, they would took that information and used that against them. Like Phyllis is doing with the information of Mamie and Tucker.
Even more so than that, he actually could have took that to his dad, especially since they know Tucker had bugged bugged the plant.
Yeah, the bonsai.
Yeah, and they're already trying to use that to go against Tucker. He could easily tell his dad, and they can easily strategize, and maybe that could be a way for him to prove himself and get that position.
Exactly.
He could have done things that way, but I think you guys said that you feel that maybe the whole Adam situation kind of inspired Jack. I think he's always felt this way regarding Kyle. He knows that his son is young. I think he was just waiting for Billy to step up and really get on the same page as Jack. I think he feels that it's Billy's time, because I would assume Billy has at least 15 to 20 years on Kyle and more experience, especially working for Jabot. And I can understand him as a father wanting to really shape him versus handing him something and then learning the mistakes the hard way versus grooming him. I think he's just really trying to level the playing field and make the right steps accordingly. I think he just feels it's Billy's time, and I actually feel the same. But I don't know, Billy's personality keeps changing week to week. It's hard to keep up with him.
Yeah.
I have been wondering, is there any chance that with the whole Kyle, not telling Jack, will we get a situation where we find out later on that behind the scenes, Kyle and Jack have been talking to each other, and he has told him, and like they'll get the drop on Tucker and Audra? Because I've been saying to myself,
That could happen.
I feel like that could be something that they do, that they just keep they're going to keep playing along. And I think that, like, is there a chance they'll reveal, like, Kyle told me, like, we've known what you've been up to for a while. We've known about the bonsai tree and the listening device and all of that stuff. I'm wondering, like, if we're going to find out behind, because, they love doing those black and white flashbacks now. If we'll find out later on that they actually were, talking to each other about what each other knew, and that they were working all along to bring Tucker and Audra down.
That would be an interesting thing to do if they go that route, but it looks like Kyle is pretty pissed right now. You know what I'm saying? From the way that it's scripted. I mean, when he slid out that door and decided to reconsider Audra's offer, because a spoiler for the week of the 23rd is that Jack is going to be struggling with Kyle. So they're going to have a lot of tension, and it's probably because Kyle's going to probably be cold, standoffish, don't want to be bothered, disappearing acts because he's hiding and conversing with Audra, which I don't understand. Kyle don't realize the long-term effects. Okay, so what? You get a job working in the top seat at Jabot, but your family is going to hate you for this.
Yeah, Jack is going to be hurt
Jack,
by
especially with
this.
Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing he went over there to work at Newman Media. Even Victor told him, look, go work with your family. That's where you belong. And of course, Nikki fired him, and well, had Audra fired him and told him to go over to Jabot, but he's digging in his heels because he wants what he wants, like a big old crybaby. And so he's just not thinking with the right mindset. Okay, you're going to be lonely at the top, because one thing about Tucker and Audra, they're only out for themselves. And when they get sick and tired of him, he's going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
And how nasty was it that this girl was just sleeping with Tucker? Could have just been like, what, a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And all Tucker had to tell you to do was just go back to Kyle and get some information. And you're like, okay. And you lay up with this man. You just back to back to back to back. This is not. This is not tennis. This is not the U.S. Open. No. And I wonder if Kyle's going to find that out.
Yeah,
That he's been tag team champions with Tucker McCall.
I don't know. It's just so crazy to me because this girl gave him the cold shoulder about 2 weeks ago. And told him pretty much to get lost and go back to your wife. And then all of a sudden she cozy up with you at the wedding, and you feeling some kind of way at Summer for, making googly eyes at Chance. And then you go run and jump in the bed with her. And then she throw out the Tucker want to, work with you. Where in your mind don't you realize that this was a setup? You cannot be that gone. I don't know.
Yeah, because he saw the both of them coming down the stairs at the Genoa City Athletic Club that time, right?
Exactly.
So he couldn't have been that much of a dunce to not put two and two together. And then, for her to, because she had made the comment that I'm not the love of your life, you're not mine. You remember she made that comment
right
when she was with him?
Exactly.
So for her to go, for her to say that to you, and you remember seeing her come down the stairs with Tucker, you can't put two and two together that they're setting you up. Like, you're supposed to be an educated guy here. Like, you can't be that dumbfounded.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. But you know what? I hope if he stay on this trajectory and he don't say, you know what, I need to tell my family what's going on. I don't feel sorry for Kyle, because this is going to blow up in his face big time, especially if, just say, Tucker do get the company and he's standing up there with him and Audra. I mean, the Abbotts are going to be looking like this is betrayal. So
it's Well, I can't really say much except for the fact that, well, he's Diane's son. Are we really surprised that he would
Mm-mm.
have this in him? I mean, it's he is gonna be like one of these characters, like Billy. And that's why I think they're mirroring the two of them to get going against each other. He's the type of person who has to fall in order to really learn his lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is him going through like a downward spiral, and he has to pick himself back up. But I would say Audra is winning. This is what I keep saying. She keeps leveraging. She keeps putting, herself in certain situations to try to leverage and try to make sure she secures a spot somehow. And I got to give it to her and Tucker. They like are the highlights of this series so far, as
Mm-hmm.
far as this new season that just started. But what did you guys think about when he asked her about if she had feelings for Kyle?
What do you mean Tucker asked her that?
Mm. This is after, well, I guess, I'm jumping a little ahead, but this is when Phyllis came to meet Tucker at the hotel room, and then that's where Phyllis and Audra had that face off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that was
you know what? Let's
yeah,
let's go ahead and switch off to that storyline now, because I know we've been on the whole thing with Kyle for a little bit. We got a lot to
mhm.
unpack.
Yeah, we
Um, with that, let's move on to that whole thing with Phyllis and Tucker. Do you think it was smart for Phyllis to go in there and show her hand to Tucker?
can go, Bree.
Uh, I mean, what does she really have to lose? I mean, everyone's already doubt her. She already knows she has to try to fight for, everyone's approval. She's trying to, she's on her sympathy tour, not sympathy tour, apology
Yeah,
tour.
keep going.
Yeah, the apology tour, and I guess this is her way of trying to protect herself. This is a common thing that Phyllis does, and it's like blackmail meets blackmail. She's very good at that. So I think that it was bold, same way it was bold for Tucker to go ahead and buy their dinner and then make up that BS story to Daniel just to taunt her. She's like that energy. And that really disappoints me because I would actually kind of like to see Phyllis and Tucker get together maybe down the line. They'd have the same mindset, the same scheming, just down to together mindset.
Yeah, well, the problem with that is most people don't like Tucker. It'll be probably like her and Tucker being like Sheila and Deacon. If she want redemption or an apology, they won't like having her with with Tucker McCall.
I think the fans would like that, but the people of Genoa City
Mm-mm,
would hate
exactly.
it. Yeah,
No, where I think they're going with Phyllis is she keep making googly eyes at Danny. So
Yeah, I
yeah, but
say.
now you've got Christine sitting there crying and telling him how things are horrible with Paul. So you
yeah,
know,
I believe that they're going to
she may
create.
lose out
Yeah, they're going to
to
create
Christine
a.
again.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jay.
I was just gonna say, because they kind of headed towards that. That's been rumored for a while. The whole triangle will be back, and she just may lose out again to Christine. Because I think Danny usually would probably go with Christine over Phyllis.
Yeah. Now going back to that storyline with Tucker and Phyllis, the thing is, Tucker is not going to let her live that down. I mean, she might get a break right now because that's her thing. She didn't want anything but to be left alone. You leave me alone, I leave you alone. That type of thing. But he
Mm-hmm.
said for now. That's still, he knows that that's still out there, and she could be a loose cannon at any time somewhere down the road. I have a feeling that it's possible he's not going to let that go as easily as she thinks he will.
I mean, you gotta remember, Phyllis is still Phyllis. She has enemies throughout all of Genoa City. She even with Victor, she's this is just how she's gone about her life, and she just matches that particular energy. She knows how Tucker operates, and she knows that he likes to throw blackmail in people's faces, and that's just what she did. Um, Same way with like Diane, she would always do like the petty bitterness, because that's exactly what she was giving with that she got from Diane. This is just her in protection mode. I think there might give us like a little bit of a breather, because it kind of felt like they've been Ken testing these two for a little while now. And I like them together. I really do. And I mean, plus nobody likes either one of them in Genoa City anyway. So if they got together, I mean, I don't think anybody would care except for Daniel, Devon, and Summer, and that's it.
Well, the only other thing is that November sweeps. That there's a photo that's been floating around, and I know I did a video on it, and it's one of two people that's in a hospital bed that Summer is with, consoling. One of them could be Chance. The other person that's in danger possibly could be Phyllis. So if we just say go down the direction, because she is way too happy about the direction that her life is going, and nothing could happen right now. I am so happy. And usually in soap world, when you hear that, it's usually something's coming. So I don't know what that November sweep spoiler is pointing to, but Summer is definitely in a hospital room consoling someone in a bed, which we got that clip. And so if that is Phyllis, then it wouldn't, be surprising if Tucker had his hands in that, putting her in that hospital bed.
But it would put her back in a redemption tour, because Jack will also be there. I honestly feel that Summer, her kids, everybody will be there for Phyllis. So I think it would just put more of a target on Tucker. So in a way, if that were the case, then I guess that benefits Phyllis, unfortunately. But it could be chance at the same time, because like what you guys mentioned last week, it could be like you know she was happy that he had a safer job, and he said he misses being out on the force. He could have like a storyline where it puts him back on the force, and you know how they do, Paul. It's the same thing, just with chance, and
I guess the issue with that is that we haven't seen really anything from that except for him being at the wedding. And I don't think with the spoilers coming out, there's nothing surrounding him next week either. And that's not to say something could happen, because November sweeps start on the 26th through November 22nd. So, I mean, there could be something that happens in that time period with the Chance situation, but he's been so hit or miss. It's kind of like, okay, they would have to drop him out of the sky for something to happen to him. I mean, it's possible, but I
that's
guess
true.
we'll have to see.
It
Um,
could also be Kyle, or it could also be Nick. It could be a lot of different people for Summer.
yeah, it could be. We'll have to just find out. What do y'all think about the situation with Mamie and Tucker?
I
I
loved her interaction with Tucker today. I liked her, like the little fierceness and the snipiness she had with him, going back and forth, letting him know that she's not one to be messed with. And you could tell Tucker, like, at the same time, like, Tucker's not scared of her. It was like more of a respect thing. Like, he had a respect for her. So I thought it was interesting. I thought the interaction that they had was very interesting.
What about you, Bree?
I love the way she handled her set. She said, "This is non-negotiable." I was like, "Oh, okay." Okay, baby. And I remember from like watching her like growing up as a little girl, like she's always had that sort of like that confidence, that sort of attitude, like, hey, like, you're not going to run one over on me. And you got to keep in mind, she's dealt with Jill. There's nothing Tucker could say that would like scare Mamie. And Plus, she keeps reiterating the fact that she has her 3 kids. She has a billionaire, and then she has Lily, and then she has her nephew. Tucker's not stupid to go to try to do something to Mamie. He knows he will lose Devon in an instant if that were to happen, because 3 people would be affected if something were to happen to her. So Tucker knows he has no choice but to minus P's and Q's, and maybe will forever have that power.
Rachel,
he's on the path to lose Devon anyway, just by doing this with Mamie. Because how many times has Devon asked this man, "Tell me the truth. Do you have anything to do with Mamie?" And he keeps telling him no. And I mean, Devon flat out told him if he finds out he's lying to him, he's done. So I don't know. I was thinking, I was kind of saying to myself, Tucker, just tell him the truth now, because when this does come out, and you know it will come out that he's been working with Mamie, Devon's gonna be completely done with him, because this guy's lying to him right in his face.
yeah, it's a lot of bombs waiting that's going to blow up around Tucker, when it comes to Devon seeing how his dad is. Because not only the situation with Mamie over Chancellor Winter, but the fact that he's trying to take down Jabot too. Because he asked him about that. Are you coming after the Abbotts? Oh no, I was just there for good faith and well wishes.
Sincere gift, and all of
he's lying
in multiple ways. Like, he's lying to him about multiple things. So, Devon's not going to have that. Like, he's literally lying to him about everything he's asking him about.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be interesting. And I know they're trying to gear up all these storylines. I can't wait till the November sweets come out so I can dig down and dissect them and put it out there. But, yeah, this is going to be interesting when Lily and Devon find out about Mamie. Now, how they going to feel about her is one thing. They're going to feel some kind of way about Tucker, but how they going to feel about her teaming up with Tucker? That's a whole nother issue, because she's keeping that from them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is going to be ugly.
And I would still like to know, what are the actual particulars of the deals? Like, we got a little bit of the information of them working together, but at the end of the day, how is it supposed to work? Is he supposed to eventually, run Chancellor Winters, or is it because I know he said, he doesn't feel like Jill should be running his mom's company.
Right.
So does it feel like he should be?
So what he wants...
Is he gonna go betray? I'm sorry. Is he gonna betray Mamie and be like, the intention was always for me to run this. This is Chancellor. This is my blood. This is my birthright. So, because I'm like, Mamie, don't get too comfortable with him either, because he may be, he may have some plans to trick her once they get Jill out of the way.
I don't think so, because he's so zeroed in on trying to get Jabot. I think he probably just wants to secure that for his son. And plus, he already has an axe to grind over Jill, because they were married before, and how that ended. But he's more focused on Jabot. I feel like he's going to try to get a hold of Jill's stake in that company. So I think he was using Mamie just to get a crack in, so he can probably see what's what as far as getting the stock or whatever he needs. So I think he might try to get Jill out that way, but he's made that very clear. He wants to try to keep that in the family. He never denied or never said no to Lily and Devon running Chancellor Winters. He said that he agreed with Mamie when he said they're perfectly fine running it without Jill. So I don't think he would try to take that position from either one of them just to have them more, pissed off at them.
See, when this comes out, I can see Devon obviously being really pissed at Tucker, but then I can see Lily well, wait a minute, let's talk about this. When it does come out that, hey, he got it because he wants you two to run it, I feel like Lily is kind of a little power hungry a little bit, and I feel like she would kind of love the opportunity to run it Like I think she would have no problems with Tucker handing it over to her and Devon.
Yeah, well, the thing is that both of them are silent partners in this whole investment in the slither of interest that they bought. Tucker wants Devon and Lily to run the company. Both Tucker and Mamie wants Jill out. They don't want her to be a part of this at all. And they don't. Tucker really don't want to run the company. He wants that company in Devon's hands only to create the legacy for him and Dominic. And of course, Lily is a part of that too. But Mamie also want Nate over there, which Tucker is like, I don't want Nate over there because of what he did to my son and trying to bring in this, that, and the third. And Mamie was like, well, I don't know what you thinking because that's part of my family and I'm doing what I'm going to do. The problem is Nate don't want to go over there. Nate want to stay over at Newman.
He happy where he at.
He happy where he at as long as he's, and that's what Tucker said. Tucker was like, he's happy about where he's at Newman and the fact that he's infatuated with his boss. Which boss are you referring to? Because look like Nate is kissing up to whoever has power. You know what I'm saying?
Not lying.
Yeah, I mean because look at how
going in that hotel suite with Victor though.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I said, it seems like he's being trying to cozy up to Victor and be his eyes and ears. Well, that's what we saw also this week. The cracks are forming in their relationship because they got into a whole argument over Adam. Remember? Or was that late last week? But anyway, that's the whole deal with Tucker. Tucker don't want to run the company. He just wants Devon to have it without Jill.
He wants to play the game of Monopoly properly, and good for him, because everyone else is failings, like Sally.
Speaking of Sally, because that was the other small storyline this week. That girl, okay, so Nicholas broke up with her last week, or was it early this week? Anyway, I think. And then Adam came over there, and then she was freaking out, talking about how she can't get rid of the feelings for him. But then, and at the same time, she don't want him to be around her. And Adam is like, something wrong with you. I'm finna go.
Yeah, it was all in his face. He's like, damn, what? Which way are you going? She was all over the place during that little rant. And I was like, goodness. Like, yeah, it really was kind of a crazy little, she did all of this berating only to say, I want you to.
My thing is, do y'all think that Adam should even go back down that road with her? Even though we know what's happening next week, but should he even attempt to go down that road with this girl?
No. He should have told her to keep her feelings to herself. It's unwarranted. He did not need to hear that, because he should know at this point he's being treated like a yo-yo. This girl is, her mood swings are so sporadic. One moment you're mad and you're crying about Nick, and then you're thinking about Adam, you're kissing up Adam, you're going up to his house, buying him dinner, unboxing his clothes and everything. Like, she is not someone you would recommend to be in a relationship just in general. So she's just one of the many people who mistreat Adam. And I don't know what he sees in that, especially after the fact that she carried his baby while in a relationship with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, actually, do we really even call it a relationship? We can't even really call it a situationship. They were just in it to be together. And then they tried to say, I love you after all of that, and then 2 weeks later they're done with each other. Like it wasn't anything serious to begin with, and she chose that over trying to make things work with you, and she was carrying your baby. So it's like, what does he see in her? And it makes us like really, I'll speak for myself, it makes me really dislike Sally's character because of that.
What about you, Jay?
See, for me, I don't. Maybe I'm still in the minority for most of it, but I still really do like Adam and Sally together. I really do. But I am at a point now where if he was to move on to somebody else, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be crying over it, just because of the way she's been treating him lately. And I kind of want to backtrack just a little bit because I was thinking, I brought this up last week in the chat. I thought it would have been nice if maybe they had him have like a little hookup with the new assistant for Nikki. What is that girl's name? Is it Grace?
Claire.
What's that girl's name again?
Claire Grace.
Claire Grace, right? Mm-hmm. But then they had this little situation, and I wanted to ask you guys about this. What was that little situation she had with Nate?
Oh, no, that was weird.
That was like very intense on her, keeping that conversation going. She's very flirtatious. The look back when he walked away, that seemed very intentional. Like almost like I wonder what her true story is, because it felt like she was a plant and she was there to try to like get close to Nate. So I want to figure out what is that situation going on.
And I'm going to piggyback off of that. That makes me feel that she's associated with Tucker McCall. Mm-hmm. And I feel Audra kind of sensed that too. That's why she was like, she's kind of like me, and like she's a step above me, except she's getting the approval from Nikki that I can't get. But I feel like she's associated with Tucker somehow. That's why he feels very confident that Nate is going to stay at Newman versus worrying about Chancellor Winters. But Mamie feels she can pull and sway Nate over that direction. Oh, I kind of see that. Now. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm sorry, just real quick. My first inclination was I thought Claire was friends with Audra. Because if you remember the way she was kissing up to Audra during the interview with Nikki.
Wait. Jay, you said Claire is friends with Audra?
See, that's what my first inclination was. Because if you go back to that interview, when she first came and she met Nikki, remember she went out of her way to praise Audra and how innovative she was. And she had spoke about one specific deal that Audra made. And I almost felt like, is she like Audra's friend and Audra's bringing her in? And like she was trying to make sure Nikki gave her the job, because the interactions that she had with Audra made it seem like they knew each other or that they were friends.
Well, wait a minute, Jay, because remember the episode where Claire helped Nikki with some advice that she gave to give to Audra to close the deal. Audra came in and she was like, "Oh, I hope I didn't overstep," and blah blah blah. And then when Claire left, Audra was giving her the snake eye.
Yes, and that's when it turned. That's when it turned for me. I was like, "Oh, maybe not."
Right, and then she decided to start going on internet and started to look up information about who she is, but we never got any more context after the scene where Audra did that. So I guess we'll eventually find out what's going on with Claire Grace. But I actually agree with you. I think Tucker has his hands in Newman too.
Phil Hines just made a really good point in the comments. She said she thinks it's possible that Claire Grace is someone linked to Tucker. She's probably one of the girls the singer Tucker produced took advantage of, and then maybe she kind of blackmailed herself a situation to get a job. I don't know, but that is an interesting take of that's how she could be connected with Tucker.
Oh wow.
Well, I was thinking because of the fact that she always referred to this great aunt of hers. Could this great aunt been Catherine Chancellor or somebody that, of course, is related to Tucker? Because, of course, Catherine is his mama. So, or somebody related to the Chancellor family, and she just happened to be, like you say, a plant over at Newman. Because actually, if that's the case, Tucker will have his hands, or he got a whole web going on where he got his hands at Newman, Jabot, and Chancellor Winters.
Exactly. He's playing Monopoly the correct way. And I also feel that she's a plant to keep an eye on Audra, because you got to remember, Tucker doesn't trust nobody, Audra included. And I thought he had somebody watch Audra, or because I remember there was a conversation where Audra's like, "How did you get that information? How do you know that?" He's like, he has eyes and ears on her. So I think that she's also there to keep an eye on Audra, but I think he wants to have his hands in all these companies and just have full power and say that, he's richer and badder than everybody. And he had Victor Newman's money to do it too.
My thing is, don't they run background checks on people? I mean, if you can't find any information on this woman, because obviously Audra didn't see anything on the internet, as so we think. It's like she just hired her right out the blue because she was kissing up and finessing the both of them. It's like you don't even know who this girl is. I mean, she was kissing up to Victoria, giving her resume, talking about all the different things Victoria did, and being so helpful to Nikki, and just, oh my God, Victor Newman is so great to be in your presence. I'm like, girl, what is going on with you?
Now, keep in mind, Tucker McCall helped Diane when it came to her identity. He could have did the same thing for Claire Grace, if that's even her real name.
That is true.
That could be the fake name right there, Claire Grace.
Or who's to say that's not Tucker's daughter?
Yes, because he was a Rolling Stone. Like, that's how Devon was born. Messing with Yolanda. She was one of his little tour groupies. So, when he was on the road doing his music thing, it wouldn't be that much of a shocker if he knocked someone else up while he was on the road.
Now, Lady Linda was saying in the comment section, I was thinking she may be related to Nikki. I saw some stuff on Facebook about that, I think she's probably related to Nikki or whatnot. What would be the end goal of that? If she was. What do you guys think?
Well, I was thinking Nikki was in that cult, right? Wasn't she in the cult? And if you remember way back when, and Paul was the one that kind of saved her out of it.
Yeah.
And didn't she have a child?
Well, I mean, the only other
she lost, like they thought she was lost or something like that.
The only other child I know she had was Dylan.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dylan was the child from that era. So, it wouldn't be. But that's what I was thinking of when people was trying to make the connection with Nikki. Does it go back to her court days? But then again, this Claire girl is significantly younger than Dylan too. So the timing wouldn't have matched up with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. If she is related to Nikki, what is the end goal? What would she be at Newman for? We could easily connect why she would be with some kind of way be related to Tucker, because like Bree said, Tucker is trying to play Monopoly the right way. I guess.
Better than most.
Better than most. I know. So I mean, I don't know. It would be interesting. I guess would be a whole different twist if it was this girl is connected to Nikki somehow. But my money is on Tucker with her. I mean, that's just my thought. So.
And everything is connected to him. Then, if it's that, we just got the reveal that it is indeed him that's been working with Mamie. So my goodness, if it's him that's involved with this girl too, he really does have his hands and everything.
Yep.
The thing with the Newman thing though is I don't see what he could really do at Newman's. At least with the Chancellor Winters thing, he has potentially some stock or some percentage of it. Like there's a connection that was his mother's company and all of that, and he might have some shares, things of that nature. But he doesn't have any connection with Newman. So like even if it was him playing Monopoly or a power play, what could he actually get out of Newman? Like he doesn't have shares in Newman. He doesn't any kind of stock or percentage. So I don't think there's anything he could do that would really affect Newman, right? What could
You
he
talking
do?
about Tucker?
Yeah, Tucker. As far as what could he even do? Like for him to have a mole or to have his hand in all of these places, you can understand, Chancellor Winter, but like he doesn't have any say or power or interest in Newman at all. So what could he do with Newman?
Maybe he's looking to see if there was any weaknesses. If that girl reports back to him to say, I think they're on the cusp of something bad happen, or the company is weakening or fracturing, then of course Tucker would see this as an opportunity. I mean, that's a possibility. She's over there to be just eyes and ears to see when he could strike. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And she could, and with you saying that, that made me think she could be there potentially trying to see if there's any person there that wanted to sell their shares for the right price. So that could be something too. If they can get enough shareholders that potentially would want to sell their stock or their shares, he could maybe get in that way as well.
That's true. Were you about to say something, Bree?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different. I feel he, like you were saying earlier, he doesn't have a footing as far as Newman, except for just having that mole there taking notes. And that's all her role should be for right now, especially since we're being introduced to that new character. But I really feel she's there to keep an eye on Audra and see what her next move, because she's been making moves outside of Tucker. I think someone also said it in the chat that Tucker didn't like the fact that she was bringing Kyle in. I forget who said that in the chat, but that is a very Jenna. Thank you, Jenna. That is why he's very particular about getting information. That's why he put the bonsai tree in the Abbott's house. That's why he is getting information in regards to Phyllis, and he's stacking his deck. He's playing poker at the same time too, and he's got a really good poker face when it comes to his son and everybody else. But he's winning thus far. I don't know how he's going to get through Newman, but he's winning though. When
Yep.
it comes to these other businesses.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you all? I know there was these other little things because we got to tap into this whole gaslighting scheme that Victor has with his kids. But Daniel got a new apartment downstairs from Lily this week. I see disaster coming because they're gonna get into a whole argument over Heather next week. So, I mean, I don't know. That whole thing is just weird to me. He don't see any problem, with this whole thing. And I know Lily does, but Lily is good at not speaking up. She went through the whole same thing with Chelsea and Billy. It's like, girl, just say something. If you don't like the situation, just say you don't like the situation. Oh, no, it's fine. Oh, yeah, she can work at my company. Oh, hey, I can get her a job. I'm like, if you don't feel comfortable with it, say something.
I mean, she can't do anything as far as Heather's living situation. If she decides to move to Genoa City and get her own place, Lily just has to deal with that. It's up to Daniel to be faithful to Lily. Now, as far as like him, kind of nudging Lily to give Heather a job, I felt that was kind of overstepping, because if Heather's trying to look for a job, she knows the steps to get that. Plus, she had her own practice. She could probably want to start her own practice in Genoa City. He didn't even consider that. But I, it's up to Daniel to be faithful to her. Now, Lily could have an issue if Heather is like, "Oh my goodness, my place isn't ready. Oh, and can I stay over there, Daniel,
Well,
please?"
she gonna have to stay with him and his father because Danny is living in there in the other room.
But how often, though? Come on now.
How often? What?
I mean, we see Danny probably every once in a while. I don't think that he. I don't know. Something's gonna. I feel something's gonna happen where Heather's gonna need to stay with Daniel, or need.
Well, Danny is gonna be there for a little extended run. What, like maybe 2 to 3 months?
Yeah, that's
So
what I heard. He's
yeah,
gonna be here for a while.
Oh wow. For
Yeah, because they're
what?
bringing him. That's why they bringing. That's why they bringing Cricket back too. So
yeah, because
yeah,
they doing the triangle again with I know somebody in the comments earlier said no, not another Phyllis, Christine, and Danny triangle, but yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
That's why they're trying to get him the place to stay with Danny. I mean, with Daniel, because he gonna be here for a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be a whole year, but I know at least for the next couple months or so.
And I gotta say, I was very proud of this man. He's the only one who cared to get out of a hotel. Uh, and he was like, "Look, I can't be there no more. Can I get a place and extended stay at your place, please?" Um, I will say that Danny does bring out a calmer side to Phyllis. We haven't really heard her say the word Diane in forever, which is great. Um, so I feel like he's doing his job. So I would hope that he keeps Phyllis occupied and keeps her somewhat out of trouble. Let me say that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, she's been focused on him. She asked him out to have a little picnic lunch with him and then asked him out for drinks later that night. And so she trying to, and she even said it, shoot her shot. She's trying to shoot her shot with Danny and see how it goes. But with them throwing Cricket in there next week and she come back with them big old crocodile tears.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going right with me and Paul.
I
Yeah.
wanted to laugh when I saw that.
I'm like, oh Lord. And of course they're gonna get those two lady battling over that man.
I just hope Phyllis don't try to run her over with a car again.
Yeah,
Please,
we don't
not do
need to
that.
yeah, we don't need to revisit that.
Yeah.
No. Alright, let's talk about this whole thing with Victor. Victor.
This really disgusted me. This is where I was really upset with the writing, more than I already am. But I'm sorry, but that just, you don't play around with your family like that. You know, that's just very disturbing. I don't know what he feels he can gain from that.
Yeah, according to him, he think that if he played out of his mind or something, that somebody is going to think he's not paying attention and try to undermine him and try to, while he's actually in his right mind and he want to say I got you. And it's like, dude, it's gonna blow up on your in your face, and it's gonna blow up on Monday. If anybody's seen the Monday's episode, he playing games, especially the person that catches him. And this is a spoiler alert: is Nicholas.
Now you know what? I know what he's doing. What he's doing is absolutely wrong, but I'm having a blast watching him do it, and I think Eric Braden is loving it too. Like when he when he was doing what he was doing with Nick, saying, but he's expecting a baby with Sally. How can you compete with that? And Nick was like, oh my God. And then when he got up and left, after he told him, come back to Newman, he got up and left, and then he looked back.
Yeah, you talking about when he was at the GCAC?
Yeah, at the club, at the athletic club, when he looked back to see how he was reacting, I said, he's having a blast doing this. And then he snapped off at Adam over there at Society. He is having a ball doing this. I know he's wrong, but it's just been funny. It's really been funny watching him act a fool and act like an old kook losing his mind. So I can't wait to see how this plays out. But like you said, it looks like somebody's already on game. If you saw the little preview at the end of today's episode.
Yeah, Nicholas is gonna bust it wide open. And the question is though, because Victor ain't stupid, he could easily say to Nicholas, hey, all right, yep, you got me. But don't tell nobody. And I know I can trust you, but I don't know if I could trust Victoria, Nate, or Adam. You don't work at the company. They do. Can you keep this a secret? I'm just trying to figure out who's who and if either one of those folks is going to betray me. Now, the question is Nick going to go along with it? Nikki is not happy about it at all. It doesn't seem like it. At first,
I was so upset with her.
Oh, yeah.
And it I this is why I'm very upset with Victor, because Adam is at the receiving end for all of this, because Victoria had a hinkling, or she was trying to find a way to try to pin something on her dad to justify her losing her position. Okay, but it took Adam to point something out to her. Then she ran and told Nick, and then he and then Nick and Victor have a moment. It's I and then that thing that happened at Society, that really upset me. You had Adam minding his own business, and you just snap like that in the whole restaurant. Nobody does anything, and he just sits there. And he knows what he's doing, and that's so cruel. And I could understand you want to check to see if Adam is going to deceive you, but like, this is your way of showing love to your kids. So how can you expect for your kids to do any better than you do?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that narcissists do that, and he is a textbook narcissist. Always have been. They like to play mind games with people. They like to gaslight people, and this ain't nothing but a gaslight when you have your children question the reality of a situation that's going on. Thank goodness this didn't last that long, and Nick confronts him about it next week. But to sit up here to say I'm going to act like I'm out of my mind so I can see if my kids will take advantage of the situation, and then I can see who's really, really, truly who. It's like, man, please. I mean, and I even said that in one of my recaps. To keep playing, they're gonna end up putting you in an institution. What you gonna do?
And T, I need to call something out, because when Nikki came in there acting all shocked, that how could you do this? You're faking. You're pretending. I could have sworn last week he told her what his plan was.
He did.
Remember they had that talk in his office, and she like sat on the table right in front of him, and they was having a talk, and he told her he knew what he was doing, and that he was perfectly fine. Remember?
Yeah.
And she had put it together. Oh, okay. So you're pretending. So then why this week? And this is a call out on the writers. Why this week did they have her acting like she was shocked and appalled that he was doing this when they talked about it last week?
I don't think she believed him. I think she actually, from the way it sounds, when he was saying, "Oh, I'm just toying with them," and blah blah blah, she thinks something was wrong with him for doing that, because in her mind she's like, "Who would do something like that? That's not right in the head." So she was actually doubting his sanity just because of the fact that he was actually doing this gaslight and knew he was doing it. And then to add on to it, the other side of this was the fact of when they were in that room, and she acted shocked, and then she came back to have a conversation with Victor today, and she was like, "Just tell me that, is this really you playing a game?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Oh my God, this is cruel. You can't do this." So I think she was doubting that nobody in their right mind would even pull a scheme like this. That's why.
And one of the only reasons why she's all up in arms is because she saw how it's affecting her babies. She saw how it was affecting Victoria and Nick. And Cece just said in the comments a little while ago, she doesn't understand why Nikki treats Adam the way she does. And like today, for example, goodness, I know she doesn't care for Adam, but he can't win for trying. He legitimately was coming to her with concern for his father, and all she could do was get snipey at him and threaten him again with that same threat she gave him at the coffee house, where she told him, if you planning on doing anything, I will ruin you. I will destroy you. This man is coming to you, letting you know he's concerned about his father, and you make it all about that. Like, that really had me angry today. Like, she just cannot give him the benefit of the doubt for anything.
It was so irritating. And the fact that, and the thing is, when he got out of the elevator and then her back was turned to him, she knew when he asked her, she knew what it was about. That's why that conversation last week, she knew exactly what her husband was doing, and she was trying to play in her role. But just the fact that she snapped at him, she should know the difference between genuine concern, and she knows that her other kids has expressed that same concern, and then you want to just make a threat at him. And the other thing that really irritated me was that Victoria and Nick went to Victor when it was Adam who brought that information to Victoria for her information to Nick. It should have been all of those kids, because they all shared that same concern. That's why I don't understand why Adam wants to be a part of this family.
They're always shutting him out. Always.
And he, like Letitia was saying, he can't win for losing ever. And it's like everyone hates Adam's show. And I don't understand why the writers have literally written this man to in a box. He doesn't have any family who cares about him, no friends who care about him. He's working as a doctor's assistant. So it's like, what are you guys trying to do with this character?
The one friend you did give him chance, you took it away from him.
And Jack is still cool with him.
He doesn't have any friends. It's like even some of the most dastardly characters in soaps have friends.
Isn't Jack his friend too?
True. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he still does have Jack. He does still have Jack.
He still talk to Jack. But I agree with you on that, Bree. Why are you still there? He keep going back for the abuse. It's like they don't want you there. Victoria already don't want you there. Nick is hot and cold. Depending on what day of the week he's cool with you and the next day he isn't. And then Nikki is always trying to put empty threats on the table, talking about how she gonna destroy you, which she can't do nothing. So it's like, who got time for that? Go on and just start your own company elsewhere. I'm just tired of the Adam bashing.
And it's every single episode with every single character. Even if they haven't interacted with Adam in years, like with Esther, you want to throw shade at Adam, and it's like it comes out of nowhere. And people have moved, the characters themselves have moved on, but no one has moved on from the stuff that Adam did. There's plenty of people who have a lot of skeletons in their own closet, especially Nick, and he's the main one who wants to huff and puff and cry and want to punch a wall and do this, and then he refuses to take accountability, but would like to throw daggers at his own brother, who at least is making an effort to take accountability.
Bree, listen, the other thing is even Sharon jumping on that bandwagon too.
Exactly.
She, out of everybody, knows who Adam really is and how many times that he's been there for her and assist her and stuff. And I'm not saying that Adam is a saint, but it's like, Sharon, now you jumping on the let's bash Adam bandwagon? Girl, please.
She used to be Adam's biggest defender.
Exactly.
And now, my goodness, yeah. Complete 180.
It's just crazy. It's like, writers, give it a rest already. I mean, and then you're going to have Sally back and forth. Oh, I hate you. I love you. I don't want to be with you, but I can't get you out of my head. Ain't nobody got time for that. Figure that out.
I feel like between Y&R and B&B, I feel like he's had the worst hand, even worse than Thomas. At least Thomas has his family that he can go to for advice, and that loves him and actually wants to help him and give him a chance, and it's a genuine chance. Mm-hmm. Whereas Adam, he can't have his family's backing. He doesn't have a friend. The woman that he loves is finicky and just a mess, just a tired, just attractiveness.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Hey, wait a
it's
minute.
like,
Hold on, Bree. Jay, you sound kind of muffled.
Oh, is it better now?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead, Bree.
he's just on the losing end, and it's really tiring to see that as a fan, especially of just of the character in the show, because I like to see like a highlight for Adam. I don't understand how other characters are able to get redemption and be able to have happy storylines, get married, have kids, and get businesses and all that. But you put Adam in the same place. It's like, how many times is he going to apologize and redeem himself? And we all witness this.
Listen, Bree, the man is missing a freaking kidney, for God's sakes, and it's still not enough. It's still not
Oh,
enough.
on top of that, they brought up Christian this week. Adam's son. Adam's son.
I
Who
thought
we
about that too.
who we barely hear about as it is. Nick barely brings it up. He was more happy about Sally's baby than he was to ever talk about Christian in a long while.
Yeah, that's true. Dang. Oh my God, this is crazy. So yeah, I wish Adam would have just went and started his own stuff. He don't even have to team up with Tucker or anybody else. Do your own thing. Give them a little bit of competition or something. Stop trying to get their approval, because the problem is you ain't gonna never prove anything to anybody who is not receptive to the proof. You're just throwing your energy down a bottomless pit.
You know what I just thought of?
Hmm.
Adam does work at Newman. Claire Grace could be trying to keep tabs on Adam too.
That's possible.
Oh, I thought you was going completely different with it. I thought you was gonna say, "What if Claire Grace is Adam's mole, and he does have some kind of plan?" That a lot of people felt like he's really up to something with this whole "I want to work from the bottom." I thought you were heading there. Like, what if she's actually working with Adam?
Oh, I
That's a good
never
point.
thought about that.
Because she's working close with Victor's wife. That's a good
Yeah.
point too. They could go
At Newman
anyway.
Media, which is what
Yeah, that's a
Adam
good
always
question.
wanted to keep. So
Yeah.
that's why I thought you was going there.
No, I was thinking that since Tucker has an axe to grind with Adam too, that she could be trying to get some information on Adam to try to return that favor for that information Adam sold to Jack and Billy.
I mean, anything is possible. I gotta read this comment that's by Cheryl Hines, and Bridget co-signed it as well. She said she's tired of the Adam bashing, but if Adam was to go somewhere else, Victor would try to sabotage him.
Yes,
I
he
mean,
would.
they would.
Like when he was at Jabot.
Yep.
T, I want to ask you something. Jasmine Williams said Adam has 500 million. Adam didn't get 500 million from the lawsuit where the other kids did. So where's his 500 million from?
Nope.
I don't. Yeah, he wasn't part of the lawsuit.
He's thinking of that. I think they're thinking of Ashlyn Locke when Ashlyn Locke was trying to get that 100 million from Victor. Like Adam tried to negotiate. Adam forced Victor to pay that for Ashlyn Locke, and I think eventually Victor got that 500 million back. But no, in the original lawsuit, it was Nick, Victoria, and Abby.
Right.
Who did nothing, and this was handed 500 million, and Adam was the one who brought it to the table, and they ousted him. Even out of that, they got 500 million each. That's why I don't understand, why is Adam trying to be a part of this family? Why?
Only thing I can think of is that he wants to belong somewhere. I mean, his mom is, passed on. His son, there's Connor, but Connor is like, I need to get away from y'all because y'all driving me crazy, including the Newman family. And so it's just him floating through time. For a while, Adam really didn't have a job. I mean, he left Newman Media because of the fact Victoria's, didn't want him there, and then Sally got the job. Then he worked with Jack for a little bit, and then of course Billy wanted him out. And then he just floated around town for a while. He tried to get back in. He tried to get with the SNA thing with Sharon Nicholas and all of that. And then it turns into him now being Nate's assistant. It's just like, get this man something solid. Give him something solid. Give him a solid girlfriend. Give him a company. Let him have some type of contact with his son and let him do him. Him always, I'm sorry, and being at the behest of Nikki, screaming and yelling at him all the time, or Victoria trying to undermine him and being rude, and Nicholas playing hot and cold. I couldn't do it. I'd be like, y'all need to go on somewhere. I ain't got
It's
time for
it,
this.
it's so irritating, and these people don't deserve an apology at all, especially Nick. Especially Nick. Out of all
Mm-hmm.
people, Victoria, none of them. So I could understand why he wants to feel close to something regarding his family, but he is Victor Adam Newman. He carries his father's name, and he's being mistreated by his own blood, his only living parent. He's it's just deplorable. If anything, he should just try to get some sanity and be like, hey, I'm just going to leave Genoa City for a while so you guys have nothing to blame me for.
And Nikki is like the stepmother from hell. Like, man.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Well, I think that's the third time we've seen in the last maybe month and a half or so where she didn't put threats at him. She did it at the coffee house a couple times, and now here's another one. I will destroy you. With what?
Exactly.
She gonna tell her husband.
Girl.
With those shaky hands, how you gonna destroy this man?
Yeah, like she's trying to put fear into him. Adam don't think doesn't care about that. Girl, go somewhere.
You ever keep your hands steady, but I was supposed to be scared of you.
Jay, stop it.
I was just saying.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm trying to think that we cover all of the storylines this week. I think we did, didn't we?
So. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
I think we covered, Jack and Billy and all that. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Okay, cool. All right. Let us now move over to the bold and the beautiful. But before we do, we're going to just take a minute for a couple of housekeeping things. If you are new to this channel and you are enjoying the conversation, we do this every Friday night, unless, something, circumstances, because I know a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, it was a lot going on, moving my son and stuff, so we didn't have one on that Friday night. But we usually have our live chat every Friday night. We do recaps over here. Because I did drop this link to the live in Facebook, so you probably have been seeing the spoilers and the recaps for the blog on the Facebook side. Well, guess what? Over here on YouTube, we do the lives, recaps, spoilers, to all of that good stuff, cast updates. And we got a cast update to talk about for Bold, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, make sure you hit that like button. It's about well over 100 of you guys in here listening to the content, whether you're dropping comments or whether you're just kicking back listening. Make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe, turn on the notification bells as well. And then there are other platforms. So there's blog, there's also Instagram that this is on, also on TikTok and Threads and Twitter, which is now X. So yeah, you'll find CBS Soap Dish Recap over there as well. So my host and hostess tonight is Jay and Bree. Our regularly scheduled hostesses is myself, Trish, and Keisha. And Keisha's been in the chat. She's out in Disneyland, Disney World down in Florida, having a good old time. And then, of course, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, Trish is under the weather. So hopefully she feel better and be back with us next week. All right. You guys ready for Bold?
Oh, this mess? Yeah, we gonna really get
All
into it.
right. Let me read the summaries for Bold and we'll talk about it. Okay. So Brooke flips out after catching Hope and Thomas in their afterglow, and Lee gives Luna a warning after she refuses to be bullied out of work. Donna discovers Eric coughing up blood and asks his doctor if he's dying, and Finn prods Lee to reveal why she hates Luna. Lee spills the family secrets to Finn, and Dr. Colby calls Eric's condition very serious, but Eric refuses to listen to his orders. Lee smashes Sheila's face in a plate of bolognese as Finn contacts Steffy. And then Liam tells Steffy Finn's keeping Deacon and Sheila's romance a secret. Hope turns to Thomas as Lee continues to taunt Sheila Carter. All right, so let's first start off with this whole thing with Eric and Donna, because that was only 1.5 episodes this week. Um, how are you guys feeling about this particular storyline?
It kind of makes me really feel sad because it's kind of starting to feel like this is gonna be John McCook's last year. That's what it's starting to kind of look like.
You say that again? It'd be drama. What?
I feel like it might be John McCook's last year.
Oh, you talking about okay?
The actor who plays Eric. I'm sorry, guys. That's what it feels like to me. The way they keep saying his grand finale and just the way that they love showing that he's coughing up blood. I don't know why they do that. But if it's that dire and that much is a huge medical condition, I don't think that it's going to really pan out well for that character. And maybe they're trying to prepare us as an audience to give us his last collection and, absorb and, get the last little bit of Eric. I'm not sure, but it's not looking too good at all.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with Bree because, yeah, it seems like, it's getting more dire, it's getting more serious as time goes on, the coughing up of the blood. And it doesn't feel like it's one of these. Now, it could always take a twist, but it doesn't feel like it's one of these stories where a miraculous surgery or, cure is going to be there for him. You know what I mean? It feels like he's in this for the long haul. So I don't know exactly where they're going with this. It's really going to be tough if this is leading to his end, to lose Stephanie and him, to medical situations. It's, you know what I mean? It's kind of dark. So I don't know what they're doing with what they're going to do with this. I like to think that he's not leaving because, from what I can tell, the actor John McCook, he's not in any dire health situations in real life, from what I can tell. So I'm hoping this has a turn. Like, maybe it will be as, I don't want to say simple because nothing is ever simple when it comes to medical situations, but maybe it's something as, maybe if a transplant happens, maybe he has plenty of relatives, so maybe that can be something that helps him. I'm hoping there's something that ends up at least, slowing this thing down. But right now, it just looks really dire. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. So, yeah, the condition will be released next week according to the spoiler. So we'll see exactly what that is. And then of course the week of the 30th. Is when the big fashion showdown is supposed to happen. There's some crossovers because Esther will be going over there. Lauren will be crossing over with her. And Steffy will be back that week too of October 30th as well. So, and
that was
again,
quick.
Yeah, I mean, Jacqueline, she snaps back. She
She
like
does.
she
Yeah.
have her babies, she get back in shape and she's ready to go back to work.
Yeah, that girl's a machine.
Yeah.
She
So
snaps back quick.
what that tells me, because I think she had that baby the August 27th. I think she had her son on the 27th of August. And if her scenes are going to start to air on the week of August 30th, I mean October 30th, that means that they had to start filming probably toward the end of September, because I think they're like 4 weeks ahead of ahead or whatever, but whatever the hell is. But so that means she was out for probably a good 5 6 maybe 5 weeks, and then she went back to work, something like that. So yeah, she'll be back that week. But again, that ties in with November sweep starting the middle of next week. So, but with this whole,
Spencer says Bridget is coming back next week too.
that's what I heard. I saw that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, with this whole thing with Eric, it's going to be interesting to see, because they're very hush hush about whether or not it's a contract issue or whether he signed it. I know there's been some salacious rumors out there that are not true. So, we usually just like to hear exactly from, the cast or behind the scenes producers and stuff like that. Because I don't know about those other channels are out there, and Soap Dirt has been pretty good and been on top of it. I know I try to stay on top of it, and a couple of other channels.
Oh, you do?
Alexander Boom, he stays on top of it too. But there are a lot of way out channels and and blogs and stuff that tend to kind of throw stuff out there for clickbait, and it ain't cool.
Yeah.
So that's why, unless I hear it from the horse's mouth or they say something on Instagram, because there's one example on Twitter, because Twitter, man, Twitter be on it with everything. And so somebody was asking Eric Braden about him gaslighting this whole thing with dementia. And he was like, it's nothing to play with. His friend died from dementia. So, no, we won't be doing that. It's Victor just being Victor. So he made it clear. That's the type of stuff that we tend to look for and then talk about it coming from the cast members' mouth. So we haven't heard anything regarding John McCook as of yet, whether or not, you know. So I just leave it right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I just know that a lot of folks are crossing over. I hope this is not his last hoorah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I hope not either, because they make it. They like to surprise us. You see, like I was saying early this week, like you did the video about 50 Shades of Purple. He's no longer on the show anymore.
yeah, that's the other thing. So even though we got crossovers and Jackie coming back, Wyatt, and I did a standalone video about that yesterday because he broke the news. Darren Brooks broke the news on Instagram, saying his goodbyes and how it's been 10 years, and this is not goodbye, see you later, but I won't be on bold. If you notice, I'm not in the credits anymore. So yeah,
So
we
is he
lost.
completely off, or has he just been demoted to recurring status?
I think he's out.
Damn. So he out there with Flo.
With Flo and Quinn.
Well, we know where Quinn is at. We know where
well,
Rena Sofer is at.
Rena Sofer is over at GH, but Quinn, Flo, Shauna, all them just out in
Quinn was away
Neverland.
because she couldn't give Carter a baby. So at least we know where Quinn is, but they just wrote Wyatt off with, that he just gone like nothing.
Yeah,
I think he has a show on CBS. That's why we haven't really seen much of him. I think he was filming that TV show for CBS. I'm not sure if it's out or if it's coming out, but
and you
he
know
might be
what?
doing
That I'm happy, because a lot of times these folks get stuck and typecasted in soapland, And when they try to make it out to prime time or something like that, it's difficult because they've been typecasted to be a soap character. You know what I mean? I mean, we've had people like Shamar Moore make it out, and some of quite a few other people have made it out to other projects, but
Well, Darren has done other things outside of soap too.
right.
He was on Digital Lives, yes, but he was also on this show called like Blue Mountain State, which was like college football guys. It was like a comedy central. So he's done some other things as well.
Yeah, and the thing is because he's been non-existent almost because they always focal point the storylines. He was working on other projects anyway. I think he was working on like little soap dramas on Amazon Prime or Netflix and some of those other, some of those other streaming services. So I'm not worried about the fact that he's not going to be able to find any work. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate we won't see him. And I know Bree messaged me on Instagram talking about the purple suit, but we won't see
we all as an audience, we've seen several different shades of purple from Wyatt. Many colors I didn't even know existed, but he wore it. And I'm gonna miss the character. But after we haven't seen him for a while, every time that we did see him, he was always in some shade of maroon or blue violet or Barney purple, like different colors.
Yeah,
but we'll miss him. He's gonna be fine. I think he's on that CBS show though.
My question is,
the character will be portrayed like, is it gonna be like a flow situation where it's just not mentioned that they're gone, or do you think it will be mentioned that Wyatt's away?
Well, that's what I was just, I was about to say. I'm wondering how they're going to exit him out. Are they going to say, well, he's sent to Spencer International, or, I don't think they're going to unalive him off. I think that they're just probably going to just send him away into another country or something. We just won't see him anymore.
You know what? Maybe Darren, when he can come back, he can just play Will. After age Will up, back from boarding school, he can really be Will.
That's funny.
I forgot about Will. Oh my goodness.
That is funny. Now, I gotta say, going back to the whole Eric and Donna thing, the fact that the doctor has still not figured out a diagnosis up to this point, we're still working on it. We don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know?
That's what's so irritating. If he's coughing up blood like this, and why is he not getting escorted to a hospital? And why is Donna not calling 911? Because if it's that severe to where he's doing that and she's seeing that, you as his partner, get him to the hospital. If anything, like waiting on his doctor to drive and show up to the house and still not have no answers is not going to benefit Eric any longer, because he could go the following day. He could be unalive the following day, and that's it.
I don't know. Nobody in their right mind that either have blood coming out of their orifices is not going to go to the doctor. My oldest works in urgent care, and there's people bringing bloody tissues to say, this is what's happening to me. She tell me the stories all the time. But it's just crazy for him and her to just sit there and do nothing. I mean, yeah, they call a doctor over, but you need to go to the ER.
You know what? They just need to have that doctor break the fourth wall. And when Donna asks him, what is wrong with him? And they say they don't know. They just need to say, we don't know. They haven't wrote it in the script yet. We'll let you know as soon as they write it in the script what he has. You'll be the first to know. Because I don't know. I don't even know if they know what they want to do with this story yet.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that doctor done been to the house twice, and they've been running tests, and they still don't know yet. Now, I guess, and he done got to this point where he's coughing up blood and stuff. She shouldn't be asking him. She'd be like, you better get your butt in this car. We going right over there to the ER. Or else, if she don't want Bridget to know, Finn is a doctor.
Lee is a doctor.
Lee is a doctor.
All these doctors.
You
All these
know?
doctors.
See, I
Exactly.
had said in the comments a couple of weeks ago, let me find out this honey that she had been bringing to the bedroom is what got him sick.
Oh.
Let me find that out.
Oh my God, you so crazy, Jay. You silly. But you know what? I have actually been hearing rumors that, and that's why I call them rumors because there's nothing been fact checked about it. That Donna was poisoning him.
Oh Lord.
I'm like,
That would be a nice twist to reveal on a Halloween episode if we get evil Donna and we find out she been poisoning this man, but you know they're not gonna do that.
yeah. My thing is, what is she gonna gain? She not married to this man. It ain't like
That's
she gonna
true. Yeah, she don't
unalive
get
him,
nothing. Yeah.
and she ain't. She's not married to him or anything. So I don't know. But I saw that out there. I'm like, I don't know about that
Unless
one.
he was gullible enough to still sign stuff over to her. Like in the event of my passing, I want my lover, or the lady of my life to have this, to have a certain amount of things.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ridge would have an issue with that. Ridge would not be having that.
Ridge is his biological son, though.
But the way he's treated, amongst out of all Eric's kids, that is his baby. That's his firstborn. That's his baby. And the way he talks about Ridge with RJ, he misses that with Ridge. He knows that is his son, blood or not. He raised that. Ridge has witnessed so much. It would be very disrespectful. I don't want to say disrespectful, but like it would be very odd for Eric to give Donna that control and not Ridge or one of his other kids.
See, that would be a great time. That would be a great time where you bring these other kids in. Where's Rick? Go get Jacob Young. Go get Thorne. Like, you know what I mean? Go get some of these other kids to like.
Alicia.
This is under the assumption that they would do, that they would unalive Eric. But if they were to do that, bring the other kids in to like, let's not just hand everything over to Ridge. Let's get a contest on some of these things, especially like, his namesake. Isn't Rick technically Eric Forster Jr.? Like, get that, and remember before he left, he had started designing. He was very involved with the company. Like, they've done wrong by so many characters.
Yep. I don't know why they don't have his kids that he had with Stephanie on the show. At least one.
Yeah.
At least one. Would you say the girl's name, Bree? You said
Felicia.
Felicia, there's Kristen, there's Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why
none
not?
of his biological kids, and I know
Marcus,
son, but none of his biological kids are there.
Exactly. That part doesn't make sense to me. I mean, granted, okay, Ridge is a staple of the show. He's one of the OGs.
Original four characters, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that why not have at least one of the other kids there? One.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's a budget issue. Who knows? Because here's the interesting thing, and I don't know if this is the case. And like you said, Bree, maybe Darren, it's because he got the other CBS show. But it's like as soon as they bring somebody on, somebody get the axe. And we got RJ came in the last 3-4 months. We had Lee come back. We got Luna in. And
now Wyatt's out.
And then we bringing Bridget back. Sheila has been on longer than we've seen in a while because usually Sheila come and go.
But we knew that wouldn't be the case this time because we knew about the 3-year
contract. Exactly.
Yeah.
So somebody was going to have to, make space.
And we've barely seen Bill since the whole FBI storyline.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
We've barely seen him.
Yeah, Bill is missing too. Oh, God.
I thought he was doing like the Dancing with the Stars over in Italy or something like that.
He's doing it again because he's already done that once. He's already done the Dancing with the Stars in Italy once.
I don't know.
A couple of years ago. So, unless they have it like an all-star season and they brought him back.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. I don't know.
Yep. So,
But get to purple suits.
well, girl, you so silly.
That's
Um,
true.
but yeah, I
Purple suit
gotta say,
and Flo riding off into the sunset.
yeah, I gotta say though, going back to, we're gonna close up this whole story with Eric and Donna. Even like Beverly Ann Gilbert saying in the comment section, "Who coughs up blood and don't run to the emergency room?" I mean, come on. I mean, it's just common sense. You know, anytime you see blood, I don't care if you bust your knee, your forehead, your eye, or something, you going to urgent care or the ER. You know, and for him to say, "I'm fine, I'm not going anywhere," you know, and it's like, dude, really?
And the thing is, if he wanted to try to keep it discreet, if because he's obviously concerned, but it's just he doesn't want a whole lot of people to be exposed to it. But have another doctor give you another opinion. Lee is right there. Lee likes to keep a secret. She's fine with that. She's be like, "Hey, you want me to tell the foresters? Okay, cool."
Shoot, fan and keep a secret too.
That no. This
Let
is
Liam tell you.
Steffi's grandfather.
Yeah,
He will
that's
not do
true.
that.
That is true. That is true. That is her.
Lee, on the other hand, she'll keep that secret.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Well, I don't know. I mean, Finn didn't tell. Finn had. We'll get there. I don't want to jump the gun on that one because that one is going to take us a minute. Because I know some of
Oh
y'all got some
yes,
venting to do.
yes.
All right, let's move to the other storyline with RJ and Luna and Lee. Girl, listen, RJ is trying to tell her you can't come up in this company and tell who to fire and who to quit. And Lee is like, yeah, but she leaving.
Lee was not playing no games. I love Lee.
Lee
Love
He
get
was
on
Lee.
my
on it this
nerves.
week, boy.
Lee get on my nerves. It's like
Yes, same.
I can't. She acting like a mean girl this week.
Yes,
I
she
just wish I
was.
knew more backstory. That's my only thing. It can't just be this
Yeah,
job.
that was weak, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That
okay.
was
So
so
let's
weak.
let's talk about that because the spoilers that came out for this week of the 16th was that on I think it was supposed to be Tuesday or Wednesday that Luna's past was going to catch up to her present. So I'm like, okay, cool. We'll get to know more about what's actually happening. And then we hear Lee talk about, well, my sister slept with the head of surgery, which was my colleague, and she got fired, and his wife got pissed off at me and made it my fault. What that got to do with Luna?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just so weird. I was hoping maybe she would tie in that her sister was sleeping with other doctors, and then it could be like, okay, maybe it could also be Lee's husband that she slept with too. I don't know.
That
Like,
still wouldn't have been Luna's fault. Why she picking on Luna so much? You know what I mean? Like, if her mama was a 304, that's still not that girl's fault.
Hey, listen, Jay. If she was up at the job getting her back blown out over a stretcher in the closed back room somewhere.
Yes. See, I could understand if it was Jack, since he's been known to have some dalliances. Now, if Jack was the one that knocked her sister up, and they're not telling that part yet, and then he's Luna's father, and then she's really his sister and not his cousin, then I could understand the bitterness towards Luna, because then that would be into something else. But other than that, like if just because I'm a son with a doctor, and it's wild how different the cultures are, right? Because here in America, what do you always hear? Go get you a doctor. Get yourself a doctor. But over there, it's a disgrace that she got herself a baby from a doctor. So it's just interesting to see the differences.
It didn't make sense to me that y'all made it look like something was going to be huge coming out of this. So there was 1,000 speculations all across social media that this could be Eric's son, that this could be Lee. I mean, what's Lee's ex-husband?
Jack.
Jack's.
Yeah.
I mean, son. I said son. That
I was
this
about
could
to say
be
you trying
Eric.
to do another Maya storyline.
No, be quiet.
Oh,
Be quiet, Jay. Don't start. um, that she could be Eric's daughter, or that she could be Jack's daughter, or that I've even heard that she could be Finn's daughter. I've seen all
Oh
kind of
no.
stories out there, and I'm like, y'all need to hurry up and clear this up, because we need some actual backstory on why she is so bent on having this girl gone. What is such a big secret? And it comes out that it's just her sister was sleeping with a coworker.
What if like Luna? I don't know. Had a criminal past or something. I'm really trying to wrap my head around what it could be. Unless like she does like a complete character change and is actually after, trying to get a Forrester.
Gold digger.
What'd you say, Jay?
What she was saying, going after, I was saying, like, if she turns out to be a gold digger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe that's why she's trying to look out mostly for Finn's family. It has nothing to do with necessarily the Forrester creations or like trying to demote anybody. She's just trying to get that girl out. So maybe she knows more about Luna's background, her history, like criminal back. I don't know. It has to be something more than this sister thing. It's not even correlating. It's just so stupid and tiring. I don't understand. But I love Lee. I love Lee. I
But
might be the minority, but I love Lee.
But the thing is, Bree, is that then build a foundation upon it. You know what I'm saying? If she has a criminal background, or she's not who she says she is, meaning Luna, they should have gave a little bit more to, maybe pulling her to the side when they were in the room together when RJ left. You know why you shouldn't be here. You know what's on your record. If they would have found out, this would destroy everything. All they talking about is, I don't want you here. She didn't even go into the detail about her mama sleeping with the other colleague, which of course I can understand that. Why would you discuss that with your her daughter? But that's all it's been. The writers aren't giving us any other foundation that leads to something else that Luna got going on. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. And the only thing we've seen so far is like RJ and Luna thanking each other for helping each other out and giving unnecessary information that goes to nowhere. Well, for RJ's case, we know what's going on with Eric, but with Luna, it's like, okay, you thanked them from keeping your intern job. It's not even an executive position. You're just an intern. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we caring about this particular storyline with Luna? That's yeah, just throwing it out there for the writers. We know you guys listen.
She said boring.
Yeah, Keisha is funny. I saw that.
But the spoilers keep saying Luna's past, Luna's past. This comes out, but it's not really Luna's past that anything's coming out about. We just got the little story about her mother, who she slept with, and that's it. Like, we're not even really getting anything on Luna's part. So, and you said you heard a possible rumor that what if she could even be Finn's daughter? That would have made that whole conversation when he said, "I haven't seen you in years." That would have made that whole conversation feel different if it turns out to be that was his daughter. But yeah, that definitely can't be the case.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I just think it was people speculating and coming up with stuff. Yeah, but I mean, like you say, if it's her past, that ain't got nothing to do with it. And then the fact that she says you're a disgrace to the family, I don't want you coming over there ruining things for me and Fan. What's she gonna do? The girl is over there just helping out with the fashion line. I mean, the writers haven't shown her stealing something, or stealing company secrets, or whatever it is. None of that. It's just been her kissing up on RJ, looking googly eyed at him, and helping out Eric. That's it. So I don't know. I was so underwhelmed when it was, she's mad that her sister slept with the the chief surgeon.
And you know what? I wasn't even expecting anything too big, because, like, if you've watched, like, Chinese movies or Asian films or things like that of the nature, they usually do have something that's considered very minor to, like, maybe to Americans or something like that. Something really minor they consider a disgrace. Like just the fact that the mother maybe had a baby out of wedlock, that would be considered a disgrace in some Asian cultures. You know what I mean? So I knew it probably was a chance. It wasn't something too big, but you could have come up with something better than what you've given us so far.
They listened to the fans when we said, please get RJ some business and stop worrying about Hope and Liam and Thomas every other minute. So at least they gave him a girl for, him to focus on. And
Girl,
and that stuff with Eric. So
yeah,
hey.
well, they threw that
They had
together.
Paris there. They could have just hit them up with Paris instead of bringing in this whole new character. Use her.
The thing is, they just threw that together. I mean, she came in one day, and by 3 days later, they was kissing each other. And it's like you don't even know this girl, and you telling Eric's health secrets to her.
And a week later, she was in the credits.
Exactly. She is in the credits. You are exactly. I could see Lee being in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Lee been around for a minute. This girl just showed up, and no knocks to this young lady. She's an actress. She need a job just like everybody else.
Of
But it's
course.
just interesting how they threw that in so fast. So maybe there's more to the story. If you're gonna throw her in the credits, which means she's gonna be here for a little while, there better be more meat to her story, her backstory.
We just want to be invested into the character because she's a beautiful girl. I'm curious about her, but the way that the stuff that's coming up in regards to her character, it's not really all that interesting. It's just kind of like meh. Like give
Mm-hmm.
us more detail. That's all.
Yep.
But we're happy that RJ got him some business outside of Hope, Liam, and Thomas.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, we got to talk about Sheila and Deacon and Hope and Lee. So the first part of that is the whole. Let's go with the whole ultimatum that Hope put on the table to Deacon. What do you think about that? Where she says, "I'm disappointed because if you're gonna be with her, that means that you don't love me."
I felt like that was emotional blackmail, and
Exactly.
and she has some nerves because even though, even though I'm a huge Thomas fan, the same people, I mean, people are saying the same thing to her when it comes
Exactly.
to her relationship with Thomas. So you would have thought if anybody would have had some understanding. I get that Thomas hasn't quite done the things that Sheila has, but you would think if anybody could have had a little bit of sympathy, it would have been her in this situation because so many people are coming down on her and telling her Thomas isn't right for her. You would have
Exactly.
thought maybe she had, a little bit of a sympathy and connection, but nope, she went straight to that.
What you think, Bree?
I not surprised because once again, this is Brooke's child. She is she's known to weaponize her emotions and very well and succeed. I feel that that's why she felt very confident that she can try to convince her dad with that ultimatum. But at the same time, you live once, and Deacon took a gamble, but he's known for being a gambler. I think that he loves his daughter, but at the same time, she can't dictate his happiness, even if it's something that she doesn't agree with. And it's just a matter of accepting, and that's something Brooke and Taylor and everyone else would have to come to grips to if Hope decides to get with Thomas. So it's just adults having to mind adult business because just like they kept on saying throughout the whole episodes this week, there's nothing you can do about Sheila. She's free. She's out. Like he said, he's gonna keep her occupied at the restaurant. That's like, what more can you do? That like you can get a restraining order, but unless she commits a crime, there's nothing else you guys can do. You guys can't say that you're scared, but like want to pop up at her house. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's what she did in that alley that T always brings up.
Yeah.
You're scared of the person, but you sure keep coming around them.
Yep. That whole thing with Hope and Deacon, I was just side eyeing Hope, and then she was sitting up there talking about Sheila is only using you, and I'm like you using Thomas.
Yep. Yep.
We gonna break down that.
Did right after that conversation.
We gonna break down that part of her conversation back at the office today with Thomas. But oh yeah, we got a lot of moving parts in this week with Bold. But that whole conversation, I'm looking at like you. Who was that? Jay. You was talking about how people are saying the same thing about her and Thomas. Finn just had a whole soliloquy with you about you better than Thomas. You shouldn't be with him. You need to go, find somebody else and da 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 da. And your mama is in your ear. Ridge is like, I ain't finna throw my son under the bus, but I don't want y'all to be together either. So how you gonna come up in Deacon's face and talking about what you talking about when you in the same boat? You know. The other thing is, I'm glad Hollis came in there because she was waiting on an answer. She wanted an answer to that ultimatum. Hollis was like, "Oh, you got some, you got some problems in the kitchen."
That was such a great scene.
Oh my God! Which takes us to that part of the storyline. This whole thing with Lee confronting Sheila, and I think you just said, one of you guys just said it. I think it was Bree. How you claim that you're so afraid of this woman, you want to stay away from her, but you get up in her face. Why?
And making the threats.
Exactly.
But you so scared. But you gonna make the threats. Like, why don't you guys just file like a restraining order? Now you know where she's at. You know where she lives at. File a restraining order and call it a day. And don't go to El Jardino. Boom.
Now I will say Lee hasn't necessarily displayed the same amount of fear that Steffy does. Like you saw how Steffy was like trembling at any little sound that may have made its way, thinking it was Sheila around the corner. But so Lee hasn't been that bad with it, but I mean she has shown, a lot of them have shown like this fear of what Sheila is capable of. But like you said, but she goes over there and she confronts her. And I will tell you what, whenever you can make Sheila a sympathetic character, that's kind of a wow factor, because I definitely was feeling for Sheila today. And usually you do not get that, but Lee was on something else today. She actually had me feeling sorry for Sheila.
Look, I'm on Lee's side. I love Lee. If somebody came and tried to unalive me and I come back for that and I look at this person and they're right in my eye socket, free, oh yeah, we enemies for life. Yeah. Trust and believe. You have to stay on your P's and Q's, and I'm gonna make sure I give you a reason to go back to jail. And that's very smart of Lee. Very smart of Lee. It's more effort than what Ridge, Finn, or even Liam is doing to try to get Sheila out, since they're so afraid and so scared.
So
it was a great scene. Just the way that she was messing with Sheila, and Sheila kept looking at all four of them knives.
Yes, I loved how Sheila handled herself, though. I really do. I love that she kept her composure. She knew, I know what you're trying to do. So I actually loved both parts of it. I love that Lee kept pushing the envelope because this woman did try to kill her. Oh, sorry, unalive her. She really did try to do that. And I liked how Lee just kept giving it to her and giving it to her. And Sheila did not budge. She did not succumb to her innermost demons. But she was staring at them knives. I was like, goodness. They showed a cutaway to them knives at least, 3 to 4 times? And I was like, oh my God, don't do it. Don't do it, Sheila. And she did it. So props to Sheila.
I'm on the opposite side of this thing with Lee. First of all, if you want to start something, don't come up in somebody's business doing it. And I was hoping Deacon would tell her to get lost. You coming up and breaking glasses and can on. That's money out of my pocket. KO KO butt. KO butt up out of here and don't attack the stick. Because, I mean, honestly, I understand what Lee was trying to do, trying to
Uh-huh.
provoke her to do something so she could call the cops and get her put in jail. But
Yeah.
you running a risk. You playing with fire. What if she had to pick that knife up and split your wig right between your eyes? Then you wouldn't be able to enjoy the fact that she was in jail. That's dumb. I mean,
But
that's
she
the.
was gonna take that risk though.
And then,
But you know what?
wait a minute,
Sheila
hold
may
on. Let
got
me
away
finish.
with it.
Let me finish. And so that was the same thing that I was saying about Steffi in that alley. You, you cannot play with fire, especially if you claim to be dealing with a psychopath and a creature and a monster and all this other stuff that you want to call it. You can't claim to do that and then want to cry foul when something happened. There's no reason, like I said, Steffi should have been in that alley in the first place when she gave you multiple times to get your butt up out of there. She didn't even know you was there in the first place. Your darn husband took a bullet in the belly for it. And then now you want to provoke this girl in somebody's business. Take that stuff outside. If I was Deacon, I would have kicked her out. Get up out of here with that nonsense. And maybe that's because I'm a She-Con fan, but it is what it is.
And we may very well still get that, right? Because the episode ended, you know, he was just, you know, they just kind of had a little stare look. And after she told Deacon, you know, he shouldn't be with her. And then they just went to the next scene. So maybe Monday we will get Deacon telling her to stay away from his business.
That would be nice, and I'll make her pay for that glass she broke too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
you
for that plate of food she wasted.
exactly. And then she turned around and ate a meatball off her chin. It's like, girl, if you don't get
And
up
said
out
the
of here.
sauce was bitter like you.
Oh my God!
That
Yeah,
was a great scene. That was great. See, that's the writing we like. Not exactly, but it's better than what we've been seeing.
I'm glad
How
she
many
held.
outtakes do you think they had when she pushed her face in the spaghetti?
Say it again. I didn't hear the. Say it again, Jay.
How many outtakes do you think they had when she put her face in the spaghetti?
No, I'm wondering. I don't know. All I know is I'm glad she held her composure. She's not gonna get what she
Yes.
wants. She
Yes.
told her, "I know what you're trying to do. I'm not stupid. You're trying to provoke me, but I made a promise." Yep.
And good for her. She's at least trying. I mean, at least she gets a whole redemption. She gets a whole love storyline. And once again, Adam, nothing.
Shoot, she deserved the Emmy last year that she didn't get too.
Uh-huh.
True, true, true
So
that.
shoot, I'm a Kimberly Brown fan all the way. The girl
Yes.
is yeah. The she. I
Tremendous
mean,
actress.
what'd you say, Jay?
Tremendous actress. Like, rather you, if a person makes you hate their character, that just shows you how good of a performer they are. Like, as much as you could hate Sheila, the actress herself, Kimberly Brown, is very talented. She's a tremendous actress.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is her personality off screen and her real life is, of course, nothing like Sheila, but she do some amazing adventures.
Mm-hmm.
They do off road biking and fishing and hiking, and she cooking stuff. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you go, girl.
I saw her on the live, like working on a car.
Yeah, she do some of everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Lee, I'm telling you, I'm like, girl, why do you want to do that? You could have had a knife in your chest.
She's the only one who's not scared to go to Sheila. Like she purposely went to that restaurant looking for Sheila. No one else has been able to do that and then sit there and be like, "Hey, I'm not afraid of you, Sheila." But this is why I like Lee. If there's anyone who cares to stand up to her, it would be that woman. And I hope they keep Lee around because she's the only one who chooses to put her foot down when it comes to certain things.
Yep, yep. So We now have to move over to the other storyline with Thomas and Hope. Oh, Lord.
The good part or the bad part?
What good part? Well, wait a
This
minute. Hold on. Because earlier this week, I think that was
Exactly.
Monday's episode.
That was
Yeah,
good.
that was fire. That was, especially when she put that
The
thumb.
thumb. hmm She put that. She hooked that thumb in her mouth.
I was not prepared to see all of that. I was like, how far is that gonna go? Like,
Because
don't.
when he,
Okay.
yeah, 'cause when he threw her against that table, and me and T talked about this, and she said some other people was thinking what I was thinking. I thought he was really about to bend that girl over that table when he pushed her to that table like that.
Oh my God!
I was
Listen,
like, Lord, are they really? Are
here's
they really?
here's the thing. When you, and correct me if I'm wrong, and it's Friday night, and we got a bunch of grown folks in the chat. It's after 9 o'clock, and it's a 10 o'clock in some places. Usually, when a woman tends to use a thumb or something in her mouth, you telling him what you want to do.
Yes.
Yep.
That's just an indication of, you see this thumb right here? This is what I
Yeah.
can do.
Yep.
So Thomas has this girl doing all of this, and the thing is, I was very happy to hear what Finn said. Went through one ear, out the other. Same thing what Brooke is saying, goes through one through out the other. Because nobody can compete to what Thomas is doing for this girl. She is being turned inside out, upside down. She's showing all this lingerie. She has no problem turning around, getting bent over. Like, this is, we've never seen this side to Hope. And the
No, we
thing
haven't.
is, we've never seen her do this with Liam at all. See, this is what happens when you're wide awake after getting out of that horrible marriage for God knows how long.
That boy Liam is vanilla, straight vanilla. And that boy Thomas is Neapolitan. He's swirl.
What?
He's sherbet. He's all of it. You know what I mean? Like he is giving her the full Monty.
I got a question. So I'm going back to this thumb action. Do you actually think, in just say the parts that they don't show, that she would give Thomas some head?
Oh, you know she would. And I think it was implied. And I think it was implied during that 4-day, 12-hour session as she was slinking back up.
Oh, that's right.
When she was on top of him.
That's right.
I think those situations that can only be implied because it's daytime. But what was she doing down there to be slinking back up? So you put your mind to work, and you think and you assume. So yeah, she definitely would.
Yeah. Okay. That's because
The difference is Liam is the guy that you don't really do that for. You know what I mean? Like maybe on an anniversary. You know what I mean? But with this Thomas, that's happening every time.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
She ain't never put none of Liam's fingers in her mouth throughout all their years together.
Listen,
she been with Thomas for how long, and she didn't put a finger and a thumb in her mouth.
Now there was some people, some fans that did not like that scene. I saw a bunch of green faces, a bunch of puke faces. You know, they did not like that.
Conservatives.
Jay.
They still watch. They still watch. They still cared enough to leave a comment. They can stop hating. Or actually, they can watch back secretly, just like everybody else who keeps hating on Hope and Thomas, and watch those scenes back. No one can deny that chemistry is hot. I'm looking at the chemistry. I'm looking at, like, it's exciting and fun to see these two characters kind of go after. What happened?
Jasmine said Finn would be like, no, you can't eat meat.
You can't eat meat, and she not either. That's what she told Liam. I
Listen.
also feel we some non-meat eaters in this household.
Oh my God,
And
that
this
was.
cabin here, no meat eating is allowed.
Oh
But
my
but but
God.
but but in the other week, she was in the office with Thomas, and he was trying to take her out to dinner, or take her to lunch. She's like, "No, I'm hungry for something else." So she got an appetite outside of any outside of Liam in that cabin. That's for sure, though.
Man, listen, Liam probably would lose his mind if she did that. Cause he probably, I'm not saying he, I don't think we've ever even seen any scenes with Hope and Steffi where they were coming up from downtown. Have we?
Nope.
Not like
Nope.
we saw with Hope coming up from downtown on Thomas.
Mm.
Now, as I think back,
Mm-hmm.
we see a lot of Liam coming up and working his way back. We see a lot of that.
That work, yeah.
Oh my God. He can
I
You
thought
breathe.
know,
maybe
especially with Steffi. You know, Steffi was making him put that work in. She was in heaven.
Bree, are you trying to say that Liam was getting slices of pie?
I think, he had to highlight his best attribute. I don't know what other reason why these women are
Oh.
chasing after this man and then are completely happy with their spouse. They're completely happy with anything outside of Liam. Steffi don't want to leave Finn. Well, we'll get to that.
If Sheila wasn't in the picture, she wouldn't want to leave that boy. She wouldn't want to.
Exactly. It's like, how do you go from being asleep and then you are wide awake with Thomas and then want to go back to sleep again? Like, no, Liam cannot do any of that. So he highlighted his best attribute, and that's okay. It worked for these girls for years, for over a decade. But they're on to bigger and better and exciting
Wait a
things.
minute. Do you actually think Finn is a freak?
No, I just think that I just think that he is doing far more than Liam to keep Steffi happy.
Mm, I don't know,
I don't know.
girl.
You got to remember, Finn is Sheila's son.
Wait a minute. Now
Oh,
you
okay.
know.
Crazy, you got the little crazy cycle gene. You know what they say about crazy women? How good they are in bed.
Well,
And
listen,
you know she
Jay.
a freak anyway. On top of that, so he may got that freak gene.
Jay, you know Sheila's giving the Glock 3000. So
Yes, you know she is. So he might got that gene. He might got that freak gene.
that's that's why Deacon is about to throw his whole life away. He like,
Yes,
shoot, I ain't finna let that girl go.
he sure not.
Oh
I
my
can't let her
gosh.
go.
Well, listen, as much as we enjoyed Monday's episode, we got to talk about Friday's episode with Hope and Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
This is where she disappointed me. I mean, she came in the door just using him to make her feel better. I don't want to talk about anything. All I want is this. And it's like, hold on, can you say hello first?
I'm not surprised by this.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit more annoyed at the fact, like, girl, why are you crying in this man's mouth? Like, you can't pull yourself together. Like, yes, I understand the stuff that's going on with Sheila and Deacon, but it's something you can really change about that. This man is trying to show you love and love and affection, and she's just crying in this man's mouth, like, love me, hold me. And then this girl had the nerve to say, well, what if I never find the man that I'm supposed to be with anymore outside of Liam, or paraphrasing.
Girl, she said, can she find a love like the one she had in that marriage? And I'm like, are you crazy?
The boring marriage that she said that she, was unhappy in, and that she knew that she didn't have 100% commitment from that man. That was you're trying to compare having another love to that? Make
Mm-hmm.
that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You were cheated on for over a decade, any chance that Liam got, and then it was always a misunderstanding, or he wakes up drunk, or someone took advantage. It's always something with Liam, but you kept taking him back, but you found happiness with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
poor
she said, I'm
Thomas.
still trying to deal with the demise of my marriage. You were thinking about Thomas before that happened.
There was a whole buildup.
There was a build up to that.
The fantasies, they
Ex-
acting like those didn't happen.
exactly. That's why she getting on my nerves today. It was a beautiful episode on Monday, but today I'm like, no, she didn't. And then he's sitting up there like, I'll love you. I'll always love you. I'll always be here. And I'm like, oh my God. And this girl is like, I don't know what love is and I don't know what I want and all this so kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, you know
And
what?
then in the same breath saying, please tell me. I need to hear it. I need for you to tell me those words. I need to hear gratification.
Some trigger words, like we talked about last week. Them trigger words.
Yep.
I'm like, that's what you needed to hear to get an awakening. That's it. That's the spot that Thomas is hitting.
I am so tired of that though. I need to hear you say it. That's her problem. Like, God damn it, I'm tired of saying it now.
It's just so funny.
How many times I got to tell you this?
Right. But like Cheryl Hines said in the comment section, that's mimicking an emotional vampire. And because think about a vampire, and I mean, I hope, you know, I don't know if I will go that far, but I can understand where she's coming from. Because once the vampire, of course, are out of, I'm trying to see if I can say that word, out of the fluid, they're on the hunt for more. You know what I mean? And so once Hope is drained from dealing with her dad, dealing with everything else in her life, she goes trying to get that fill up or that, and as they say, well, I wouldn't call her a narcissist, but narcissistic supply. You need that supply to get you going. You need that emotional energy from that other person to fill you up. And it's like, how long is that going to sustain you? You're going to be coming over there looking for a fill up for the next 30 years and look like pretty much you know what it is. And I hate to say it, and I heard somebody else say it. He's pretty much a walking dildo for her.
And she's putting it to good use.
Yeah, I mean, the moment it's just like if she was to come home by herself and like, oh my God, I had a rough day. Let me pull it out. That's what Thomas is. You know what? I had a rough day. This stuff going on. My dad, my Sheila Carter. I need this. Let's pull it out. Like what? Hold on.
And I mean, I understand Thomas's dilemma though, because if Bree came to me every day and she was telling me, you know, I need to hear it and I need it, pull it out, I'm not going to tell her no. So, like, what does Thomas do
Wait
in
a
that
minute.
situation?
Hold on. Was Bree, you all right with
Wow.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta play referee right here. You know, we're going.
Just for example. Just for example.
What'd you say?
Just for example, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Just for example.
Bree, you all right over there? Hello. She over there laughing. You know what? I was wondering at what point having the both of you up here, and y'all been good all night.
I mean, it is what? Well, it's 10:20 over here in Orlando. Yeah, we're definitely going to play around and have fun with this.
Listen,
Now,
Keisha is over there cracking up.
now, see, I couldn't be Hope. I couldn't be making all these poor decisions like that. You keep crying about a man saying that he wants you, and only desires just you. You have that. The man who was obsessed with you. Clearly you like the obsession that he had for you, because you keep turning around on desks, you keep running behind on couches. You guys have covered every square inch of forest decorations at this point, and not to mention Thomas's house. So it's been what, a couple of months of them hooking up, and it's like, why are you this emotional still? And you barely heard from Liam, except for the fact that you guys talked about Beth's doll, and that was it. That was it.
Did you see Bridget Jackson comment, Bree?
Wait a minute. J Money, Bree needs a minute.
Y'all funny.
Oh my goodness, I love this chat. I love all you guys. This is so sweet. But they just,
I didn't like. See, this is where I had a problem at. If she wanted to get away from Liam, okay, and said, "Look, I'm sick of the back and forth. I need a man who I know that's going to be with me, only going to be for me, only going to want to love just me." I get that in Thomas. I want to explore that. Let me go explore that. Let me get out of this situation and then move forward. That's how they started out with this thing, right? I know she was fantasizing, but when they had the Dope Week back in July, she was saying, "I choose you." Remember, she said that. And then they flipped the script like 3 weeks later, because we, after that whole week, we didn't see Dope for a while. And then they come back and turn this whole thing into some type of situationship. And that she's not sure, even though she was the one that got the divorce papers drawn up, issue them, telling Liam, "We're done. If you don't want to work this out, cool. I don't want to work it out either. Here's the divorce papers. So you need to sign it. I need to move on." And then I'm thinking like, okay, people were saying, "Hey, Thomas and Hope can be a power couple," or Thomas and Hope can be this and that. And they turned this whole thing into a situationship where he's pretty much the mannequin now, and she's the one that's just coming in there getting what she wants when she want it, and then put it down when she don't want it.
and she can't be mad at when people call her a user, especially Taylor. That's why I'm hoping they keep Taylor on, because she's probably the only one who's really going to call Hope out on her stuff. Now you're going to have Brooke, whose primary focus is to trash Thomas. That's it. And no matter if he's in the scene or not, just trash Thomas. But she's not going to really be straight up and honest with Hope, whereas Taylor will gladly flash that mirror. She'll be like, "Look, you point out all signs of your mom right here, here, and here." And Hope can act tough, but Taylor's words, I will say, just the characters throughout the show, whenever Taylor speaks, those words hit. And that's why Brooke has always been irritated by Taylor, because Taylor's words hit a lot of truths, especially for Brooke, her family, her kids, everybody. And I feel that that's why Taylor needs to stick around regarding this Hope and Thomas situation. Someone needs to get on Hope, especially regarding with Thomas's mental health. As much as they stress that he's been obsessed and that he's hinged and he could be dangerous and this, okay, then why don't you tell Hope to hop off of it for once and get her life together?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
What you got, Jay?
Yeah, the thing that's wild to me is like, I mean, this situation today, specifically for Friday, it wasn't even necessarily the Liam situation, right? Like, all of the emotion was over her dad. So, she definitely was using him to make herself feel better. And it's funny because y'all brought up Taylor, and she might need to see Taylor herself as her therapist, because I think she probably actually should benefit from seeing someone. Like, she's an emotional wreck. She has everybody telling her what she should be doing with her life. her mother is incredibly intrusive. You know what I mean? Like Brooks' insistence on just keep telling her about not being with Thomas. He's not the right one for you. Always in her ear. That's very problematic. I don't think she could ever get to a situation where she can make a choice until she either shuts Brooke down, or maybe she perhaps does need to get the help so she can find some clarity. But she's definitely an emotional wreck.
You know what the irritating part was this week? Brooke was more accepting of Deacon and Sheila than she is of Thomas. Still, that makes no sense. It's like, why are you so desperate to hate on this man who you've witnessed go to therapy? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps saying Thomas is dangerous. It's like he ain't hurt a fly in over a year.
And he's working at the office.
Thank you.
You see him every day.
And shouldn't we be over the point of her being surprised? Like when Hope opened the door earlier this week and she like slapped her hands, so it's like, oh my God, you know she's seeing this man. So why are you going through all those dramatics? Like, this ain't new.
She smelled the scent in that room when she walked in. She knew exactly what was going down. I think that she's a little mad that she just really doesn't be able to can't do it like she no more. And she sees her daughter, and I think she has always lived through her daughter, and maybe she feels a certain type of way of her daughter sleeping with Ridge's son. And she's always lived vicariously through her daughter, but especially when it came to Liam.
You know what? Maybe she's mad because one of her daughters is finally messing with a man she can't sleep with.
Oh my gosh!
She's sleeping with her daughter's man, and this is the one guy. This is the one guy she can't sleep with. You know, the one man of her daughter she can't sleep with.
Well, J Money. She actually, Brooke did sleep with one of Hope's men, Oliver.
Yes, she did. Yes. That's what I'm saying. She can't mess with this one, so maybe that's why she's so angry. Because this is the one she can't sleep with.
But she came close, though.
She did.
Brooke came close.
Yeah, was it berries? Was it berries or mushrooms? Was it berries or mushrooms or something?
I think it was berry. Yeah, it was berries, like purple berries or something. More purple. But this is when Thomas had a crush on Brooke.
Oh God.
That was a whole thing. Like if they could revisit that would be really funny. But I think they came close, but it didn't happen. Yeah, that's right. It's Steffy manipulated the whole situation. But they came close to having that moment. So it might be the fact that it's Ridge's son that she can't have.
The one that got away.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! Please, I know you said it would be kind of fun, Bree. I don't not want to see Brooke and Thomas. Oh my.
Look, it's either Brooke and Thomas or Brooke and Liam. It's one of these things that I've seen for years. It's like it's only a matter of time.
I don't know what it is. Every time I hear or see Liam, I just cringe.
Me too.
You know what? Let's move on to that part of the story. Oh my God! So we got Liam back this week, and it's been pretty interesting because I've seen people on Facebook and some other places saying it's been pretty nice without Liam. Now, as much as Scott Clifton is a great actor, and obviously, hey, he got bills to pay too. He need work too. I still gotta say it was nice not having Liam. And I'm sorry, Liam fans, because I know they're out there. And he was back today. So the first interaction was between him and Thomas. It was a short one, and they fooled us again because in the spoilers they were saying there was going to be a face-off between these two. It was like Thomas saying his piece, and then Liam ran out of there.
It's the fact that this man made conversation with Thomas. For the longest, you've been like so gung-ho about trying to protect Hope from Thomas. Now that you don't want her no more, now all of a sudden this is Steffi's brother and you're trying to warm up to him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, it is. This man really chatted up with him today. After all of the bitterness,
all of it,
after all of the accusations, all of the hate that he has spewed against his boy, he really came in that office and initiated a chat with him.
And then turn around. And then he
Steffi.
And then he turned around and say, "I want her back." And and Thomas was looking at him like, "You want her back?" Go ahead.
And Liam was looking for approval. He had a look of approval, trying to see if Thomas would be okay with it. He's trying to get good in with Steffi's brother. He's trying to warm his way in, and it's just so pitiful.
Oh, look at Keisha said she enjoyed. She said she enjoyed Liam today. She said she liked it when he's an outright scumbag because we rarely see that. She also said, y'all see how Thomas defended Fan, and we got Fan trashing Thomas.
Yep.
Yeah. She speaking gospel, and then I saw that comment and said, "Yup, absolutely."
Truth.
He was defending that man, but he has no idea this man was trashing him.
Yep.
I would love to know if he would still defend him if he knew that.
That's a good question.
I feel Thomas would defend Finn over Liam any day, especially as hard as Liam has gone after Thomas.
Really? Because I don't know, like if he defends Finn over Liam, and Liam doesn't get Steffi, that leaves Liam in the open again for Hope. So that wouldn't necessarily be in his best interest.
Well, I mean, it's not in his best interest now. I mean, she's flip-flopping her emotions. Meanwhile, she's getting awakening from Thomas every chance that she gets. So he's not gaining or losing. Well, he's gaining a lot, but he hasn't really gained a relationship that he wants with Hope. But I don't feel that Thomas would want Liam with either Hope or Steffi. Mm-hmm. Same way Finn doesn't want Liam with Hope or Steffi.
Yeah, well, all I know is he actually had the nerve to have a conversation with this dude when we had a whole past year of him coming up there talking crazy to that man. And now all of a sudden you didn't switch gears because you want Steffi. You sitting up there saying, Finn, he can't protect her, and I want her back. And I'm glad Thomas realized what he was saying.
Trying to just such a I cannot stand Land of O'Lakes. And then the fact that little bit at the end, like, make sure Hope gets this from our daughter. Oh, really? Okay, so you're perfectly fine with Thomas handing things to Hope, the same man you wanted her to stay away from. Like, I do not. This whole switch, this is why we do not like the Liam character sometimes. Not to say he doesn't hit on some points, but this is the flip-flopping Waffle House King type of mess that we don't like to see with Liam, because it's so cringy and it's so sophomoric. Like, he's almost pushing 40. Like, he should be farther than this. But oh well.
He has complete tunnel vision on Steffi right now, and that little phone call at the end.
Whoa! We're
not there yet.
Pace yourself.
Yeah, we got to close up this whole thing with Thomas and Liam before because that's the final piece right there. Because other than that, that'll be the last thing for this week. But go ahead and were you finished with the whole thing, Jay, with Thomas and Liam?
Yeah. So it was just completely so weird to see, as we were saying, after all of the things he said about this man, after all of the things he's accused him of and wanted him away from Hope, the fact that he was so comfortable just chatting it up with him, talking about Finn. It was like he was talking to him like he talks with Wyatt. That's the vibes I was getting. It was like him venting to Wyatt like he always does. He was doing it with Thomas.
Exactly.
And it just threw me off. Yeah, it was just completely weird.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was wishing Thomas would have just said, "Man, I had my thumb in Hope's mouth last night, bro." Like, I just wish he would have said something. I know they're not doing that, but that's all I was thinking about. Like, bro, you sitting here chatting up with this guy, and he had Hope in his office, that very office that you're standing in right now.
You know what? I'm surprised that Thomas didn't tell when Hope came in there later, talking about her crazy marriage and all that stuff. I'm surprised Thomas didn't say, Liam was here. And he actually was looking for Steffy. That could have probably put the nail in that whole thing, but he didn't say nothing. I'm like, dang.
He barely had time to breathe before she shoved her tongue down his mouth. But I did think about that too.
All right, then let's roll on over to when Liam decides to hightail it out of Forrester and go over to that hospital. Well, wait a minute. Whoa, Ridge was there first.
Oh, yeah, he was.
What did y'all think about how Ridge showed up over there telling him to tell Steffy about Sheikon?
Well, I was happy that he went to the hospital so he can get his head examined because it made no sense for him to pull out a Forrester just to go to this man's shop. How many people are going to continue to bother Finn about Sheila and expect him to make miracles? So it's like you guys either want him to just commit, unaliving of Sheila, or just like Finn said, leave it alone because there's nothing much he can do. I mean, Ridge had the whole FBI. Ridge had the whole FBI and mad because Finn can't do nothing. I do not understand what Pinecone Poppy had any business going to that hospital except to get his head examined and get a transplant of a brain of his own to get some sense, please.
Dewan is funny. He said he had Hope's thumb in his mouth last night.
I see you, Dewan.
Y'all crazy. Oh my goodness, my chat, and my moderators. Oh my God, y'all crazy. Yeah, I gotta say though, I gotta give it to Ridge allowing Finn to have the space to do that, because he was like, look, you need to talk to her because it needs to come from you. And he left. He didn't pressure him. He didn't say, you horrible person, and how dare you haven't told. He wasn't happy that he hadn't talked to Steffy about it yet. And Finn said, well, I don't want to scare her because then that'll make her not want to come back to LA even more. And he was like, okay, I understand that, but when you got to tell her and you got to be the one to do it. So, and he left. So I was like, okay, well, he didn't really give him a hard time about it. But what was your take on it, Bree? Did you get your 2 cents in on Ridge? Oh, yeah, you did. You said Poppy.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Get
Liam.
his head examined.
Yeah. He sure does. Jay, did you say all you need to say about Ridge?
No, I didn't speak on the Ridge thing yet, but I agree with you. It was good that he went to him and told him how he felt and told him, hey, it does need to come from you. He gave them, it was a nice blend of, kind of giving him the nudge, like, hey, you need to talk to her and tell her this as soon as possible. But he was also fair enough, that being the key word, he was fair enough to give him the time to do it. So, yeah, I thought that one was okay. Like, I mean, he hasn't been talking to Finn in the most respectful of ways lately, but that one was a decent conversation he had with him.
Yeah, I agree. But then look who sashayed through the door, little Puke himself. And my thing is, don't you got a job?
Really?
And he had time to go all the way to Forest Creations to bring a little baby that he could have dropped off at the cabin or with the babysitter, with Donna, anybody. And then he had time to go all the way to the hospital to bother this man and ask him the same question and got the same result. Like, he's trying so desperately to cause an issue, and he feels that he's innocent about it. And I don't understand, like, why these women chased this man for over a decade. I don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed exactly why he is indeed the little puke that Finn calls him. Did you see how antagonistic he was from the jump? Just just how petty he was when he came into. Because if you remember, when he came into the office, there was like a nurse there telling Finn that he needed to see someone, and then Liam came in telling myself, "Oh, I'll make sure to tell her on my way out as well." Like, man, please, like, what? Are you serious? Like, so he came in there with an attitude, with a little nasty attitude from the jump, and then. I'm gonna let y'all speak on the last part before I say something about it. But yeah, I just did not like his whole vibe the second he walked through the door.
I don't even understand how Liam got past the. You know how when you go into a hospital, there's a front desk that you need an actual visitor's pass for? How did you get past the front desk and the nurse's station to go into the physician's personal office? And I know this is a soap, but it's just like, dude, how did you even get this far? I can understand Ridge, that's his father-in-law, but your wife's ex-husband can walk up and.
Well, it's the last name, isn't it? If I'm correct, didn't Bill donate a whole wing to that hospital?
I don't. Is Finn working in that wing?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Even still, like, Liam has no business worrying about another man and his wife and what's going on with it. It has nothing to do with him at all.
Nope.
At all. He didn't even mention none of the kids.
Nope.
Nope. And they really set him up to be a villain because, like, you saw how he looked at the pictures and talking to the pictures. We were married once. And we can be married again, or whatever the hell he said. I'm like, dude, really? I hate that dude. I swear. I just hate him.
I hope Scott Clifton becomes a villain. I've always wanted to see him go into full villain mode versus his sort of good that blurred line. I hate that. I want him to be full on villain. I actually want him to be more like his dad.
Yes. I was just about to say that. Tap into his inner Bill.
Well, you know what?
He definitely has the acting chops to go there.
You know what? Maybe that will happen because Wyatt was more like Bill. Now that Wyatt is no longer on screen, maybe they'll push Liam into that direction now.
I feel like Wyatt was more like Bill as far as shadiness. Mm-hmm. Like, because you remember that whole deal where when he was working with Hope years ago, it was something about like a watch, or but it was like somebody he was trying to steal. He had stole something, and so when it comes to shadiness, Wyatt definitely was like Bill. But I think Liam, in particular Scott Clifton, he can tap into that true villainy side, like, doing whatever it takes to get what he wants, and I can see him being so obsessed with getting Steffy back that he taps into that dark side that Bill has always wanted him to tap into.
Yeah, my thing is he's sitting up in there telling this man you can't protect Steffy. And it's like they putting it, and who was that said that in the comment? Jenna, how she's sick of people trying to pressure Finn about Sheila. What do you think that Finn can do? Especially now that Deacon has a stake in this as well, because Deacon is now in a relationship with her. Ain't nothing Finn can do. If that girl want to stay with her man, because that's what it is. She want to stay with, she call him daddy. She want to stay with daddy. She ain't going nowhere.
And Deacon is throwing his weight around because he's letting, you saw him last week. That man is letting it be known, I got a black belt in karate now. So, He tried to come between me and my woman. You gonna
Exactly.
get these roundhouse kicks, my boy. Don't mess with me now.
Oh my God. I mean, seriously. But then what made it worse after, and see, this is where fan is just sometimes I'll be like, are you thinking? You should have walked that man to the door. Why would you leave Liam standing in your office? Why?
It's I'll even go back before that. When Liam was trying to see if Finna even told Steffi about Deacon and Sheila, you see the little happy dance that he did? He's like, "Oh, you didn't tell her yet? You haven't told her? Like, oh, oh, what are you gonna do about that? I mean, eventually she's gonna need to know. She's got to find out some way. I mean, just like a child. Oh my goodness." Just
And that,
happy as all hell, just tell Steffi that piece of information. This desperate.
well, the other thing is after when he left out of that office and Liam is sitting around watching pictures and whatnot on his desk, he gonna turn around and say, "Screw it, I'm gonna call her anyway." And then sitting up there saying, "Well, I got something to tell you, and yeah, it's about Sheila and Deacon. They're an item, and your husband didn't want to. He purposely didn't want to tell you about it. He's keeping it from you. I'm gonna need you to come back home to me and not to him." I'm sitting up there like, man, give me a 4x4.
This is so lame, like lame and desperate. Like this is how low you had to stoop. I mean, I'm actually kind of happy that Hope is getting out of this marriage. I see what she actually had to deal. We witnessed what she had to deal with. That's why she was so happy when she got with Thomas. Like she just had to cheat in Italy and get with Thomas. And she really hasn't mentioned much of Liam since then. And we see why. Because he's lame like this. This is terrible. What grown man does that? And didn't even mention his kids at all. Didn't even mention Kelly, protecting like nothing. It was Steffi. Just thinking with the one man that he's loyal to.
They didn't even ask how are the kids. And how about the utter disrespect to make that phone call in his office? Like, you know what I mean? Like snitching on this dude, making him look bad, and you're in his office while you're doing it. Then he had the nerve to even say, "Yeah, I thought about this for about 2 seconds." And he literally said those words. "I thought about this for about 2 seconds and I decided to tell you." And then he still ain't, like, he still has no balls. The way he threw it, that part in at the end, come on to me. Okay, bye. And then hung up. Like, man, come on, bro. That was so weak. Like, if she falls for that crap, if she actually, like, pays attention to that, he just quickly said, "Come over to me," and then hung up. Hell no, man. That was so weak.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comment section. Melissa Spencer said, "Did you see at the end after Liam hung up the phone, he looked at Steffi's picture and said, 'We were married once, we can do it again.'" He's a brat. He's an absolute brat, and what I'm hoping for, because it left us with a cliffhanger, I'm hoping that the writers didn't drop the ball on this, but I don't think they're going to do it. With us having a cliffhanger with Liam still in his office, I would hope Finn come back in there or even overheard him saying in there, he need to come close. That might be my flip the script. He need to come in there close and catch Liam in there saying what he said, close that door and wear him out.
Yes. See, I actually thought we was gonna see a punch come flying across the screen.
Me too.
That's what I thought we was gonna see. Like he had overheard it, and then you just see his fist thwop, just hit him in the face.
Oh
I
man,
would love to have seen that.
I would love that alley back there. Not the same one they got shot in, but the alley, to have Thomas and Finn come and take him back there and wear him out.
Yes.
Allie and Finn. Who?
What you say, Bree?
You said Allie and Finn.
No, take him in the alley.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. That's
And
exactly.
Finn and Thomas wear his butt out.
Yep. My goodness. There's so many missed
You
opportunities.
remember that fight? You remember that fight between Ridge and
Danny.
Deacon?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a good fight.
That fight was bloody.
Yes, it was.
Man.
That boy Deacon kicked that hole in the wall, and Red was like, "Oh, I made him made a mistake."
And then Deacon had to just give him the win. He just like, I'll just take it. Let me.
Yeah, because he saw Brooke coming, and he knew he would get her sympathy. So Deacon played that smart. Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, don't hurt Rich."
Yeah.
No. Oh, my precious Rich.
No. She came in there for Deacon. That's why Deacon took the fall. Remember? He took the fall, and then she came in there. Rich, why? Why would you do this? And she was like, and then Deacon was looking like, but yeah, when he kicked that hole in the wall, that boy Rich was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, even Sean Kanan off screen, that's what he does.
Yes,
he's a martial arts instructor.
Yeah, he do that for real, for real.
He don't be playing with him. And if I was Sheila, I would just sit back in my soft girl era and let him take care of that.
Yo, I will say, I did think it was funny as hell after Deacon did tell Finn, I've got a black belt in karate. And then Finn said, "What are you going to do, protect her with your nunchucks?"
Oh, my God.
That had me rolling a little
bit.
Hey,
Bree, why'd you laugh when I said that?
Because that makes perfect sense. She really is in her soft girl era. She's like, I'll wait table. Yeah. I'll be at home for you. I haven't even thought of any crimes. Like, she's really in her soft girl. She found her daddy. She found a man who took care of her, got her out of jail, out of criminal charges. He did what divorcers can't do. Gave her a place to stay, kept her out of jail. Yeah, she definitely playing soft girl.
And you can't forget that he's blowing her back out too, girl. I mean, all of the above. The thing is that with him, and he got martial art experience and all of that, girl, you ain't got to do nothing. Let him handle the business.
Yeah, he got a strong back doing all that martial arts, so he's taking care of that.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious with him throwing because that would really get her going if Deacon was to throw Lee out. Like, don't come up in here messing with her. You don't put my fiance's face in a plate of sauce and throw glass in my restaurant. Get out of here, girl. Listen, Sheila, go back and go ahead.
Are we going to be getting a Sheila and Deacon shower scene? Because, she's going to have to go wash that spaghetti off her face. So maybe he takes her back to the apartment to help her clean up.
What you put in the... yeah, I mean, that's probably... Wait a minute, what's she say? Bree.
Oh, yeah. I asked if you guys had any nicknames for Liam, because I was really trying to think. I called this man everything but his name sometimes.
Oh, okay,
I was curious to see
gotcha.
if they had their own nicknames for him.
I know some people call him lame. Some people just call him that. Waffle Boy is one I've heard.
Butters, that's why I called him Land of Old Lakes.
Butters. Why is the Butters? Y'all got to give me the reason for Butters.
Because everything is a misunderstanding. Everything slips out of his fingers. Everything just happens to him. So if that's the case and you just plain old butter and you're a margarine, you just sit there until we decide to use you. But Hope decided she's tired of Land of Old Lakes, and she said, "I'm going to put hot sauce on all my stuff going forward."
What they say, I put that ish on everything.
Everything, yeah. Which she's letting Thomas do. She's letting him put her on everything.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question because this is the one part we didn't talk about. The conversation between Sheila and Deacon, where he tried to put her in control. So when he told her, I'm gonna need you not to go after your son anymore. I put everything on the line for you. I need you to do what you supposed to do now. What did y'all think about that? Cause I was wondering if Sheila was gonna be able to handle that. Sheila has pretty much been a free spirit, do as she want. Now she got Deacon pretty much telling her what to do, trying to keep her on lockdown.
She got no choice. He got her out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got her out of facing charges, and he still has that same connection with that judge. So she goes out of line, and he risks everything and for her to mess it up. He gonna throw her right back in jail. I feel like that's something that he can stand. That's why he feels that he can control her, and that no one else would have anything to worry about, because as long as she has her freedom, she gonna mind her P's and her Q's. She owes Deacon.
Yeah, that's true. And she really
And
go ahead, Jay.
yeah, I was just gonna say my thoughts was my thoughts on it was that was something that definitely needed to be said by him. But if you notice, Sheila is very smart. She never committed and said it. And if you notice, because he said it the first time around, and then she gave him some kind of end around answer, and then he told her, he's like, no, I'm gonna need you to say you're gonna stay away from Finn. And then she still did a little end around of bias. She says, I just want to live a peaceful life. She gave him that spiel, but she never said the words, okay, I will stay away from Finn. And after she said her, I just want to live a peaceful life, and she walked away, you saw him like kind of threw his hands up in the air and had like this exasperated face. Because even he knows she didn't really say what she wanted, but he wanted her to say. So he's still gonna be, on pins and needles, wondering if she's gonna be going to try to see Finn, and if she can stay away, because she never did really commit to saying the words, okay, I will stay away from it. And he knows she did it.
Mm-hmm. So, how do you guys think that this can last? Do you think she'll stay put for a while?
I think she will for a while. I think they're gonna continue down this path like what happened. I don't think it'll be to the extremes of what Lee did, but it's gonna be more interactions like that. People going to Ildredino's, giving her their 2 cents, you know. So I think we'll see, like, I think throughout the months we'll see different people. We'll probably see Bill. We'll probably see,
Brooke.
Katie and Carter. We'll see Brooke. People going to Ildredino just to give her a piece of their mind, So I think she'll be dealing with that, and she'll do good for a while. The Finn thing is the wild card. I think she'll be able to keep her cool with everything else. I don't know yet if she'll be able to stay away from Finn or stop trying with Finn. But I think she'll be able to keep her cool with everybody else in town that tries to go over there and tries to provoke her.
Finn got his hands full with Liam. I think when Finn said, I think today's episode kind of solidified it. He's done all he can do. There's nothing much that he can do going forward. So I think they're going to move. They're going to try to break him away from Sheila a little bit, because when Steffy comes back, he has to deal with the fact that he has a whole a succubus, a scumbag, or whatever you want to call him, going after his wife, a puke.
Did you say a succubus?
A succubus, anything. He's not just worth it, but Finn has to deal with him in order to try to make sure he keeps his marriage intact. So he'll be busy with that. So I think Sheila's going to be in her soft girl era and is kind of just taking some constructive criticism along the way, but I think she'll be okay.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys, especially what Jay Money said that they're going to one by one come up there. Brooke is probably going to be next. She was the one that antagonized Sheila, which of course Sheila retaliated with switching the wine bottles with alcoholic versus non-alcoholic. Because she come up there talking about you would never have a place in Steffi's life. This is my family. You need to stay away. I'll make sure I won't allow it, and all this old kind of stuff. And Sheila retaliated, which is the whole wine thing.
Bet. Have a drink.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, I don't understand. I could see why Steffi might be upset. Even Finn. Why is Carter upset? Have Sheila ever came after Carter?
Hell no. I was mad about that too. Like, man, please. You don't have to take on all of this, all of Ridge's problems, while you really looking like an errand boy. You taking on all his problems now too?
I mean, and then the other thing, has Sheila came after Hope?
Nope.
No. Not
She
at
was
all.
really nice to Hope when she had them glasses and that red wig on. She ain't did nothing to Hope.
I mean, all these people are so frightened of her, and I can understand the bullet in the belly, Steffi, out of all people, I get it, right? But all these other, Katie, Sheila ain't never came after you. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It was just very weird and misplaced. Like, I love Carter. He's a great character. Love him dearly. But Hope wanted to talk about the budget for her line, and he stops because he's frustrated the fact that Sheila and Deacon are together. It's just weird writing. And what kills me is the guy who plays Carter is also part of the writing team.
Oh, sure is. He sure is.
And I hate to point that out, but like, I don't know. There's such a blurred line, and since like the writers strike, maybe they're just trying to put the pieces together, let some of these certain storylines kind of fizzle out, so they can put the different ones in or better. I don't know. It's just weird. That was very weird.
Yeah, it's like all these outside, I guess, extenuating people that's part of the show is all afraid of what Sheila can do. And it's like, she ain't never came after you a day in your life. The only people she really have problems with is Brooke and Steffi.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And Dewan, yes, Sheila has she is shot. Brooke Taylor, that she has. She's done a lot. But she has what 20 lives. So she's taken over B&B and Y&R. So she's got a lot of people. But yeah, she shot Brooke and Taylor and a lot of people. Kidnapped Thomas.
Didn't she shoot Stephanie too?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure did.
Stephanie always says, you shot my. Didn't she say you shot my mother and my grandmother? So she saw Taylor too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I could, like I said, I could understand, Brooke and even Steffi, Finn, because they had direct impact with them. And of course, the other reason is because, she's married to Finn, and Finn is, her biological son. But the rest of these people, like Carter and Katie and stuff like that, it's like Sheila ain't thinking about y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere near it's just so misplaced, and I don't understand it. Like, if she's so dangerous, just then get a restraining order and call it a day. I mean, you guys literally had her in jail, took her out to try to put her back in, and then mad that she's out. Come on now.
And like I said, for Hope to react like this, she's never done anything to Hope. And I've never recalled Hope having any animosity towards Quinn. And if you remember, Quinn did a lot of things to Liam. Remember, she used to mess with him all the time. So you've never showed any of that kind of feelings or animosity towards Quinn?
Yep. So, oh my God, we had a lot of moving parts to this particular week for the Bold and the Beautiful. I mean, Young and the Restless was pretty interesting, but Bold was, especially with Liam coming back today. Oh my gosh, they gave him an episode by himself. I mean, but him coming back, he was primarily most of today's episode with that whole thing with Thomas and him and Finn. And like I said, an alley plus the two of them, wear his butt out, please. And maybe he'll go sit down somewhere. Maybe, unless Steffi and Hope feel sympathy for him. Hopefully that wouldn't be the case. But
I didn't
in
come to tell. Hope he was over there talking about something he wanted Steffi. Hope better not have no sympathy for him then.
mm-hmm. You're right about that. All right, you guys, let's go into these last two segments. We have been on officially 3 hours. And then we're going to go ahead and close up the show. This was a good one. We had a lot of fun today. All right, so we're going to do our flip the script segment. So pick one. If there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change, flip the script. So who's going first?
I'll let you go first, Bree.
Okay. The only one I can really think of was before Phyllis left Tucker's room. I wish she had planted a bug in Audra's purse or something, so she can kind of stack the deck. So if she wanted to work with Tucker, she try to get some leverage. She can. She wanted to get some leverage from Jack. She can, and Audra would be the key to do that.
Okay. What you got, Jay?
My flip the script probably would have been when Hope was talking to Deacon and telling him how
Whoa, whoa,
it was.
whoa. We talking about Young and the Restless.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, Young and the Restless. Young and the Restless. My flip the script would have been for Nikki not to be acting so shocked and appalled when she had already knew Victor told her what he was about to do. That kind of really irked me that she acted that way. So that would have been my flip the script for her not to act so shocked and appalled by what Victor did, and for her not to actually come down so hard on Adam when he was just simply trying to show some concern for his father.
Yeah, my flip the script would have been Adam telling Sally, forget my number. And then Adam telling Nikki, I understand that you don't trust me, but you need to stop talking to me like you crazy.
For sure.
I mean, seriously. Okay, so now we got bold. What you got, Bree?
Um, actually, before Liam left and said, like, told Thomas, hey, when you see Hope, make sure you give her this bear. I wish Thomas would be like, oh, I'll be seeing her. I'll be seeing all sides of her very short.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. That was good. Okay, what you got, Jay?
I flipped the script on bold. I know she couldn't do anything, but I would have loved to see Sheila maybe do a little something back to Lee, like throw some of the spaghetti in her face or something. I am proud of her that she kept her composure, but I would have liked to see like maybe a dynasty type of cat fight or something, like taking it back to the classic cat fights of Soap's past. So that would have been my flip.
Okay. My flip would have been the moment that Liam walked into Finn's office. He threw him out. Now I ain't got you ain't got nothing to say to me. I'm calling security. You ain't supposed to be up here anyway. Throw him out. I mean, he just sashay in there. You had a whole conversation with this dude. Why? There's nothing for the two of you to talk about. You already know this man is after your marriage. What do you want to come in here and talk about? Nothing. Get out. And then when he left, he should have walked him out of his office and closed the door. Why would you leave that man in your office? Plus, this is a hospital. It's PHI everywhere. Really, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, he should have walked him out, kicked him out in the beginning, and then when he left, he should have walked him out. But that's my take. Y'all got anything else?
I think that's all the flipping that we can do. We need flipping of the scripts and the writing as well.
I mean, we
Exactly.
got all the flip we can handle when Thomas flipped Hope around and leaned her on that desk.
Man, Jay, I'm telling you, I remember messaging you this week. I'm like, did you see that? I thought sure, but I know that would have been too much for daytime TV.
Oh my God, they would have got some complaints.
Of course they would have.
They already had the thumb sucking and then the turnaround. Yeah, they couldn't push it too far. They gave us enough though. They know how far to push it with us.
Listen, and the the force of her hit. I thought, I'm like, Annika, did you catch the desk, girl? Cause he pushed when he flipped her over and she went flying
She
toward that
stumbled.
desk.
She did stumble. I was like,
She's
girl, is it all right?
I'm like, dang. What's his fiance name?
Brittany?
Yeah,
Brittany.
Brittany, she getting tossed around.
Yeah.
She gonna have a happy marriage, a great
if
marriage.
if J Matt is anything like the energy he putting into these scenes, oh yeah, she's a happy woman.
That boy bitches like 350 to 395. So, he carrying her all around.
Oh
Light
shoot.
work.
Yeah, light work. Mm-hmm. They be in church during the day, and when them doors close, that's it.
Mm.
All right, you guys, this was a good one as usual. Thank you, Bree and Jay Money, for filling in tonight for Trish and Keisha. And Keisha still been, even though she's down in Florida right now, she's been in the chat, chatting it up.
No take a seat, T?
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, we got to take a seat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so on Young and the Restless, who's taking a seat?
Uh, Victor.
uh,
How the way he's going about it is so pitiful. Like, if you don't trust your kids, then fire your kids and get them out.
mm-hmm.
It's really that simple. But oh well.
And who you got taking seats?
And for me, it's Victor's wife, Nikki. The way she came at Adam today, she definitely needs to take a seat. This man was showing the same concern, and he brought up a lot of this stuff to the attention of them. But yet you want to tell him. She literally said the words. She don't even think he really care about what's happening to Victor. So for her to come at him like that when he's been the one that's brought up the concerns and told them, if he didn't care, he wouldn't have told them. So Nikki could definitely take a seat for the way she was talking and treating Adam.
I totally agree with that. Oh God, I was not happy with Nikki this week. For Young and the Restless taking a seat for me is Sally. That whole you in my head, but but I want you to not talk to me, girl. Listen, go over there, sit down, get your head on straight, and maybe Adam might want to be with you, but obviously they will be together next week. But yeah, Sally needs to take a seat. What you got for bold?
Uh, well, the only one who assumed the position on Friday would be Liam. Um, he put him on Spirit Airlines, and I want him to take a long, like, multi-trip, just anywhere outside of Los Angeles, and just leave Finn alone, please.
All right. Yep, I agree. Go ahead, Jay.
That's a repeat for me. Liam can take a big old seat today. That little puke punk waffle boy can definitely take a seat after the mess he pulled today.
Mm-hmm. My take a seat is Deacon telling Lee to go take a seat outside on the street bench somewhere and get the heck out of my restaurant. I mean, I ain't like that at all. I know people enjoyed Lee's, and today, and I know Bree did too. I It's like, girl, how you? Well, you just gonna show up and provoke the situation, and then end up putting that whole spaghetti, I call it spaghetti bolognese or whatever it was.
Bolognese.
Yeah, but yeah, I would have had Deacon tell her to go take a seat outside. And by the way, pay for that glass too that you broke.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was not feeling Lee today.
Yeah, you don't know we coming over there breaking property. He could have got you for that. Destroying property.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have been the one paying a fine. Because he could definitely do that. But yeah, that's my take a seat for yeah, it was Lee. Girl, go sit down somewhere. Alright. Did I miss anything? Did I get everything?
I think you got it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so I know I did the early spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Cricket coming back, um Adam and Sally making love next week, which we circle back
No,
a year.
let's hope it's not like the last time.
Yeah, it better be better than. Listen, they better give Thomas and Hope a run for their money. Don't give us no cheap scenes, okay, Young and the Restless. Don't play with us. If you gonna try to sell Adam and Sally once again, make it good.
Exactly, because Hope and Thomas are the new standard now.
Exactly. You gotta meet the bar, and I mean Adam can get a little energized too. I've seen him, years past. So hopefully Mark bring, and especially I think they're still dating now. Bring the realisticness into it if you want to. What else is going on next week? Oh yeah, and then Nick confront Victor about faking. That's happening too. Bold, the diagnosis come out for Eric. And what else is going on? Something else is happening next week. They gave us a few breadcrumbs, but I'll get the full spoilers out on Sunday like I usually do. To and then of course the promo. Hopefully they get it out on time. But yeah, and then Eric and Ridge sharing a moment as the fashion showdown began on the end of the next week. RJ is emotional when Eric discloses his prognosis. So we got a lot of emotional stuff going on with Eric next week. So
Yeah.
what'd you say?
I said, yeah, that sounds like it's going to be like a big emotional week with all of that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As much as I don't fancy those types of storylines, I just don't. But hey, hopefully they won't make it as sad as it look like it's going to be. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Did you have anything else, Bree? Or no?
Oh, this. Thank you guys. Be sure to hit like and subscribe on the road to 10,000, please.
Thank you very much. You got anything else, Jay?
Yeah, just a little bit more on that. Everybody had a blast with y'all today. Chat was great as usual. And yeah, like and subscribe. Let's get her to her 10K.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And again, stay tuned for the spoilers for this upcoming week. And hopefully, if I can get some insight on the November sweeps, which hopefully we will. We'll start getting the details about that. I'll definitely have some videos about that as well. So, all right, you guys, until next time, we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Have a great weekend, everyone.